We will be with you momentarily. All right. Hi, guys. Sorry about that. I'm having major technical difficulties. I screwed up a couple things. So we're here, but we're a little bit behind. But welcome, everybody, to our new show for diving for the Institute with the Institute investigators. This will be our show that will be on at 11 on Sundays. And then starting on Mondays at 10. Sorry, I almost said the wrong time. Karen and AJ and I are going to be doing the review. But for right now, it's going to be Scarlet and I on the deep dive. Lori may or may not join us a couple times. I don't know. We'll find out how that goes. But welcome, everybody. And if you want to watch the episodes, you can, of course, always join our Discord because we have watch parties right before the episodes. So make sure if you haven't that you join Discord. I'll put the link on the chat. And please make sure to like and subscribe. And here, wait, I do not have the chat open over here. That would help. I cannot pin it. Or I'll pin it. There we go.
That's the tiniest little raven compared to the thing.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do something a little different. I figured that I would put it on there since it kind of fit. But the whole
you have the eye there, yeah.
Yeah, some of what I was doing, whenever I opened the program back up, I don't know, it didn't save it. So there's a couple things missing. And I'm just like, at a certain point, I'm like, we got to start. I don't like to be completely a different time. So we want to at least get started. But why I'm typing this out, what did you think about the first two episodes?
I don't know. I think I have to have a little time to cook. I have a mixed reaction. I'm gonna simmer that pot in the back of the stove.
I know there seems to be some mixed reactions about this. A lot of people are having a hard time getting into it. Mm-hmm. I do think that as the season goes on, it gets better, but I don't know. I enjoyed the beginning. Mm-hmm. I think, and I said this before, I think a big part with the show that people are having is everybody expected it to be From because they're advertising it as being From because it's Jack Bender and everything. Mm-hmm. But it's not. It's not like it at all, and it's not a puzzle box show. And I've been trying to tell people that because I was afraid everybody was going to expect something that it wasn't. But
but Jack Bender has a long and varied career. I mean, he directed Fame, the TV series. He has a lot under his belt.
Yeah, no, he does. It's just I think everybody expected it to be too much of what it wasn't.
Well, that's not why I'm having it simmer. That's why I have different reasons for
it. While I'm fixing a couple of the things I had technical problems with, why don't you tell me what it was why you don't like it as much as I do?
Well, right now it's a little bit too child abusey for me, to put it bluntly.
No, I get
so
that.
I'm hoping it goes more that they find this kid that has, super TP and then use him, and it focuses more on the kids and the guy that's going to go around and backhand them if he doesn't do what they wish.
Yeah.
I think it's just establishing that, so hopefully it's not going to keep on doing that. Because you already know they've been kidnapped. They're not being treated well, just in that regard.
And I don't know that they're going to be treated well. I mean, through any of it, but
I said they weren't treated well because they've been kidnapped.
But I mean, it is. I hesitate to say it's a dark show because I don't know. I didn't find it that dark. Yes, the part with Tony slapping him in the face, that was a little much. And some of that, there are some things in it, I think, that some people may find a little disturbing. But overall, it really is, I feel like, about their powers and kind of why they are trying to manifest and get the kids to manifest them. And more
Mm-hmm.
of that, reasoning will become apparent as the season goes on. But I don't know.
So,
I mean, I've heard some mixed reviews. I know not
mm-hmm.
everybody felt the way I did. So I don't know. I also, as I always say, and I know usually Karen's like, that doesn't make a difference. It makes a difference to me though. I think that sometimes you feel differently when you've watched a bigger chunk of them at once.
Yeah.
Like you get a different opinion when you see more, and you don't feel like you're waiting to get into the action or whatever. So I don't know if
It doesn't have that kind
maybe.
of gut wrenching scene like the beginning of From has. It doesn't have that super got ya kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't have that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I thought that it made me like it pretty fast, but it's the beginning is a little slow. I don't want to say it's slow. I didn't really find it slow, but it's
Mm-hmm.
slower. Like you
Yeah.
do have to kind of get into knowing what's happening and everything, and before you kind of get it. I remember when I watched it, and I'll get into more of the review
Mm-hmm.
aspect tomorrow because I don't want to go too much into the review now, but um I felt like for a while, some of it, I was a little confused what was going on.
Yeah.
And I was about ready to email AJ, or text AJ, who's read the book, and be like, explain this. But I didn't want to spoil him with the show.
Yeah. And
So I didn't.
sometimes it doesn't go exactly by the book too. So
No, I know. But there was a
yeah.
part of me that wanted to, because there were things that I was like trying
Mm-hmm.
to understand. And I think that it takes a little bit. I do
Mm-hmm.
like that they at least dropped the 2 episodes though at once. I think that helped a bit to get a little bit more. But yeah, it takes some getting into. But I think that if you stick with it, I think it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say that there aren't going to be other parts that might be hard for you to watch,
Mm-hmm.
because there are, and I think that
Mm-hmm.
that's okay to say. That's not really
Well,
spoiling
it's
anything.
also a horror series too,
Yeah,
so
it's
it's supposed
also
to
a
put you
horror
on your
series.
toes.
But
Yeah.
I mean, you also know, and I've said before, that I'm not really a horror person. So
Yeah.
I don't find it like super horror, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Crap. Give me 1 second. I gotta grab. I didn't
Okay.
realize my remote's
Well,
over here.
one of the things I was interested in about is I wondered if Jack Bender did the posters and stuff, because I know he did a lot of artwork and From. So I wonder
Yes.
sometimes if this isn't his, these posters, the art in the kids' room, like the I think there's like a rabbit or something in the back. Some of those drawings I thought might be Jack Bender's.
Yeah, and I don't know, because I didn't get as many pictures I would have liked to.
Yeah.
There are some different ones of his room, and I, excuse me, was kind of wondering the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and maybe later we can go through them a little bit more. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The main posters that stick out are the ones in the hallway to me. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there are some that might be his artwork, and I kind of hope are, but maybe
Yeah.
we'll see it a bit more as it goes.
I have a question for you too, and maybe it's just because you talked to AJ, but is this part of the same universe, like extended universe, with like Firestarter and some of other Stephen King's books? Because there's a similar theme, a telekinesis
Yeah,
and pyrotechnesis and telepathy, like in
yeah,
Carrie, like in Pet Cemetery, like in The Shining. There's a lot.
yeah. I mean, I think some of it's sort of the same universe. I haven't really talked to him a lot about it yet, because
Okay.
we'll talk about it tomorrow. But I definitely, having watched it, not that I know a lot about Stephen King,
Mm-hmm.
but I definitely felt certain things I like know about. Like I may not have read Carrie, but I've
Yeah.
seen Carrie. Like at least I
Yeah.
saw the original movie a long time ago,
The
and so
classic.
yes, I do think some of the whole like paranormal abilities seem to be from the universe. I would assume that they're
Mm-hmm.
kind of all part of the same thing, but I don't know. He'd be the
Mm-hmm.
better person to ask that, because I'm not really a Stephen King
Well,
expert.
I was mainly interested in the parents of Firestarter because they were in like a similar situation, like they were being studied. So I didn't
Mhm.
know if that tied in at all, like
No,
in the
yeah,
beginning of
that
that book.
I don't know, but I do think that because it does seem to have a bigger universe, that leaves a place for this show to open up to, because obviously there's one book. So I'm assuming there's like a finite amount of stuff they can put in it. So yeah, I think that I'm guessing that it's, it could open up into other things like that. But I mean, I'm really not entirely sure. But yeah, AJ might know more about that because he's read a lot of the books, I know. So yeah. But hopefully we'll maybe see more into that and find more out as the season goes on. And people will probably pick up more than I do, that's for sure. Because like I said, I haven't read a lot of it. So yeah. I'm going to go through looking through our chat here. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming. Justin, Karen. You guys can hear what a crazy wreck I am rushing. Critter, welcome.
Hey, Critter.
Jen, Big Heck. Who else is here? And there's Lori. She at least stopped by. Hi, Lori. Thanks for dropping by. So yeah, I guess let's get to it. And I know everybody keeps telling me about the MGM logo because you said it, somebody else said it. I'm sorry. That is the source I got for the pictures. You're gonna have to deal with the logo.
Well, I didn't know they put it on there so they could flag it because it's so big.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends where it was captured from, like whether you watched it on streaming or on the network, because like it's on linear too, because it premiered tonight on TV.
Yeah. So
I'm guessing that's why. I'm really hoping it doesn't have a problem. YouTube doesn't have a problem with it. It shouldn't. But yeah, I don't know. Sci-fi has like one in each corner now. So they must really,
that's
which
crazy.
I thought was really, not each corner, each bottom corner. Sorry.
Yeah.
I noticed that when I was taking the captures for Revival the other day. So yeah, it's different. Lori says Stephen King books are standalone. There isn't any overlap except for maybe Firestarter. Okay.
I thought the stand and that other book were part of a bigger universe and referenced other things. I thought his books referenced other characters all the time.
I don't know enough about Stephen King to give you an accurate answer, so I can't really loan, but interested. And Karen says, I'm not a student of Stephen King, but I understand this book is 600 pages and could have been 300. Okay, fair. I don't know. Maybe the reason why I like it more too, and maybe this is part of the problem. This is more like my kind of Stephen King book. Like I could have read this. Like this is not super scary. I am not a horror person. I say that again and again. I like sci-fi horror. I like supernatural horror, but not like, I don't want it to go too dark. And I don't know.
You don't like Cujo? You don't like Cujo? You don't like crazy cars like the Steam?
I actually think Cujo might have been the one I read to be funny, which is funny enough. I think Cujo's is one book I read. But yeah, no, I just generally specifically watching. I don't read a whole lot to begin with, but specifically watching movies. If they're too bad, I tend to not watch them. Now, I've seen one of the stands. I think it was the miniseries. I did watch Dreamcatcher. I do remember seeing Dreamcatcher.
Oh, the Dark Tower is what I'm thinking about too, Jamie.
The Dark Tower, yes. Yeah. That's like my kind of, like, I really liked that movie, and I know a lot of people didn't. And I think it's because it was less dark. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the one I was trying to say instead of the stand that has characters in common.
Oh, the tower.
The Dark Tower.
It's so long since I watched that. All I remember is Idris Elba was in it. That was what I remember.
I don't know. My favorite thing that's been made, other than like The Shining, which is a classic, and Carrie, which is a classic, was The Mist, and The Mist was crazy, and it had Thomas Paine in it.
I do like The Mist. I thought that was Stephen King. Yeah. And that's horror, but again, that's supernatural horror. I mean, granted, a lot of his movies are supernatural horror. I mean, and thinking about it, I have seen quite a few things. I haven't read them. I've seen things. Like I've watched Rose Red a long time ago. Yeah. I have seen a couple of the Firestarters. So I have seen them. Yeah. But it's been forever, and I have not read them. Let's see.
You see Carrie 2, The Rage?
Yeah, I think so. A long time ago. Jen says that Tower Prep has the same plot and the same way of taking kids. I honestly don't remember. I think we need AJ when we'll have to ask him tomorrow. Maybe we'll find out more, because I really am just not the person to ask. I read Salem's Lot when I was 14, too traumatized to read anything ever again. didn't
I
even
love
know that.
Salem's Lot. I love that miniseries.
Yeah, I know a
Original.
lot of people like that. Critter says Dark Tower is a series that ties it all together.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying,
And that
Critter.
Randall Flagg is in it. Now that character sounds familiar.
Yeah,
What's Randall Flagg from? Because that sounds familiar. I don't know. And it was on the Cartoon Network. Okay. And Lori also says there's similar themes about TK and TP, but the characters and stories are different. Okay, and I guess that's kind of the idea. Same universe, maybe not crossover events or people, but there's kind of that feeling, I guess. So we'll have to look out for that. But yeah, definitely not like From. So people, I think, shouldn't expect to see From in it.
Or there's just a whole bunch of TK and TP people in Maine. It seems to always happen in Maine.
Well, everything happens in Maine. He's from
Everything
Maine.
happens in Maine.
X-Files, Chinga's from Maine, so.
Oh, okay.
Which I've most definitely seen, which people should know. And shoot, what was I going to say? I completely just, my thought went woo right out. Oh, I know what I was going to say. For anybody who didn't see it, please make sure that you check our video tab. I did put up the interview with Joe Freeman, who plays Luke, and Ben Barnes, who plays Tim. That's up now. Yeah, that's up now. You can see that. Of course, I see for some reason my sci-fi-vision link is not on the bottom, but if you haven't, also make sure that you check out scifivision.com for all of our interviews that are not videos. I'm telling you, I don't know what the heck I did to this OBS thing that things are suddenly missing. Like, I don't know if it had a glitch or if I screwed something up. I honestly just don't know.
What's missing?
Like for one, not that it's a huge deal, but like the thing that has the website address should be showing up.
Oh,
and like I had a hard time getting our names showing up. Like everything disappeared, and I don't know what caused it. I don't know if it's because like I didn't shut the computer down all the way and I left it hibernating. Maybe something screwed up and it didn't save. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I know why that's not working. Well, that makes sense. That isn't showing up because it's black and it's on a black background. So that would be why you can't see that. There we go.
Showing up.
There's the website. Yes. I also fixed that animation so it says the right X address because it said the wrong one for like a long time. I didn't even notice it until we were talking to Romy and I was watching it flash and I'm like, that isn't even right. So yeah, I at least got something there fixed a little bit. But yeah, now you can read it. But yeah, make sure you guys check all that stuff out, and as well as all of our other interviews. And we're gonna, of course, try to get Institute people. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, or like I said, our deep dives are going to be on Sunday. Our reviews are going to be on Monday. And also Tony is going to be joining us in a few weeks. Tony and Phil Tony Teflon, if people don't know who I'm talking about, but you probably do, are going to be joining us to talk about the Institute one of the times. So we'll have to wait and see, when that goes down, but that'll be soon too. All right, let's get into it. Now I need to figure out why am I thinking, okay, there it is. So I am going to assume that these posters, that your time to shine, I mean, that to me is definitely a
shining reference.
Yeah, shining reference, right?
Yeah.
100%. Exactly. And that's okay. Thanks for coming, Justin. Oh, thanks, Jen. I'm glad you enjoyed the interview. Thank you much. It was a fun interview. I was glad. That was the one I did on my birthday that I was saying I didn't want to do interviews on my birthday, but I did it because it was for this. So.
But it was Ben Barnes.
It was Ben Barnes. And to be fair, I'm glad I did too, because I went first. It was really nice. I got to go first. And my interview was I think 7 minutes or something. And we were supposed to get 4 and they kept talking. So that was that's right. Good birthday present, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good interview. But we will definitely try to get some more people, and I'd love to get Jack Bender back on the show. I don't know if that's a possibility, but that would be awesome if we could. All right, so I did put on the credits just so everybody could see the posters, but there's not. I am on the second episode. Ain't I? This is the second episode. Shit, what did I do?
Uh-oh.
Somehow opened the wrong one. Okay, wait a second. Sorry, ignore that 1 second. I had the wrong. See, I'm telling you, it's that kind of day. Oh my god! Just like earlier,
Yeah.
I was saying when I was rushing to do the watch party, I ran to grab a bottle of water and I
Yeah.
knocked it out of the fridge on top of my foot. That
Oh,
was very
jeez. Are you
yeah
okay?
yeah well yeah, but it hurt.
Well, you can
Well,
really hurt yourself when someone drops on your foot.
yeah, it
You
like
can
I
break a
said.
toe.
No, I didn't break a toe.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah, I had
Okay, I have no
A
idea
surprise
why.
Comic Con weekend, so I was pretty like busy, and I didn't think I was going to be.
Yeah, that was actually the right photo. I don't know why, for some
Oh,
reason, and
okay.
this is what I'm talking about. Everything's not, none of it's working right. Is for some reason there's a photo in this folder that's from the other episode. I don't know how it got there. From the party. I don't think it's from
Yeah.
this episode. So I don't know. Somehow it got moved. So we'll just ignore that photo and move on because the rest of them are from the episode, which is what
Okay.
matters.
Skip over
So
that.
yeah, getting there. Okay, so we'll start
Yeah.
at. Okay, now why isn't it showing? Ah! Sorry, everybody. That's why I said next week we're going to make sure that we do the watch party at 9:30, so we have that half an hour after
Yeah. Hmm.
to where is my there we go. All right, there we go. So Jim.
There we are.
So we start out, yes, there we are. So we start out at the gymnasium with the kids taking their, I don't know what you want to call it, placement exam. And I'm guessing then this is what, like 12th grade, something like that. And
I think he said he was 13, so high school, I guess.
well, I think he said 14, but he's
Oh,
clearly
okay.
younger than them because that's why they're like,
Yeah.
"Are you a genius?" So yeah,
Yeah.
he's a lot younger. He's taking this test and he's done before everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's establishing very early on that he's a genius, and
He's a Doogie
so
Howser of his
kind of,
generation.
yeah, Regents exam. Okay, I didn't
Yeah,
remember. I didn't
Regents is in. Yeah.
Regents exam. Thank you, Jen. So these older seniors or whoever they are, I'm assuming seniors, are asking him about what answers he put on, and we have his name Kelly in From, I think. The girl on the left is from the one that had the rebar stuck through her head.
Oh yeah, that's her.
So,
Cool.
yeah.
I
So
thought she found another
from,
character.
yeah. I mean, I don't know that I'd call that an Easter egg, but a From
Well, there's
connection
3 people from in here, so
there is. So we'll say it's
yeah,
a connection, a From connection.
it's kind of
But
like a seek and find sort of thing.
yeah, kind of. But she's asking about the answers to the test and realizes that she screwed up her own test. So yeah, he's 14 and older than them, and he did better than they did apparently. So meanwhile, after that, he goes back to his house and he's playing basketball with his friend. I think he's told. I think that Biggs or Sigsby mentions his name in the second episode. I don't remember what. I'm getting up on my cast list here.
Yeah, because another of the characters like mentions him.
Yeah,
to tell a kid, I know about you. To give that kid I know about your history. I know your friends.
Yeah, I don't know that it matters what his name is, but I don't know what his name is. I don't. Rolf. Okay, Karen says it's Rolf.
Rolf.
See, Karen knows. Rolf. Thank you. His house address is 47. 47 is the number. You are right. So there's a reference. There's a couple things, just not a whole lot, but that's cool. I didn't.
And then they, when they're playing the basketball game, it's usually a horse, but the bird. I mean, there's a rat. Because they said KUSI, which was interesting because when it was in San Diego, there's a TV station called KUSI.
Oh yeah, I don't know. That could.
So I remembered. Well, have you ever played the basketball game Horse?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, instead of saying horse, he's substituting in different difficult animals, and this is KUSIE, and it's a type of rodent. I looked it up because I wanted to know.
That's still an interesting thing to pick, right?
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, maybe a rat has like some kind of symbolism later on.
Yeah, maybe, might be.
Because he's rats in a cage.
Well, yeah, they are. That's a good point. They are rats in a cage.
Yeah.
I just Muncher, welcome. So let's here. So yeah. meanwhile, we get, hold on a second. I gotta move I have my pictures in my thing I'm reading overlapping. I couldn't see it. Okay. So then meanwhile, we get Ben Barnes' character, Tim, who was on the way someplace. We don't actually know where, other than he calls somebody and says that, I'm sorry. What the heck? Geez, this is just, I swear, this is like my day is just going from bad to worse. This is not even the right file. I'm sorry, guys. Bear with me for 1 second because this isn't even, I don't know if it didn't. Maybe I downloaded it. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Where's my iPad? I'm wondering if it didn't save it and it closed out because I know that I had part of this written there and it's not written in there. So it didn't save the file, right? And I downloaded it and it's missing part of it, which is not good because we are trying to read this, or I'm trying to read this and it's not helping.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if it's the same. Yeah, I don't know. I'll just have to, this part I'll have to remember because I don't know. But anyway, okay, I see. He calls somebody and he says he's not going to, once he does take the deal and says he's not going to make it out to New York. So he was going out for a job and he decides not to go because the airline offers a different flight and a hotel voucher and $400 in cash. So he's like, okay, I'm taking it. And he leaves. I think like if I was on the way home from a vacation, I probably would jump and take it. But
I always do. When I travel by myself, I always do because it's a good deal usually.
Yeah. Well, apparently he was going somewhere for a job because he calls and he says, appreciates somebody's father's offer, but it wouldn't be a good fit right now anyway. I think that he's still affected after whatever happened at that, well, not whatever, we know later, they tell us what happened at I think it was a mall, whenever he shot that kid. He's affected and trying to figure out what to do and how to move on. So yeah, he's going to take there's what he calls me. He's going to take the certificate and the money and he's going to book out. And then he is going to hitchhike and he meets this woman who do we know her name? I feel like she said her name, but I don't have it written down. Anyway, she's like, you're not a racist.
She's the only woman on earth that isn't attracted to Ben Barnes.
Yeah, I know, right? She says, see, some of these, I don't know if my thing's out of order, if the images are out of order. I don't know. Sometimes these pictures piss me off.
This seems right. This seems right.
They're supposed to stay in numerical order. I know, but my recap has that he talks to his parents first. And I'm like, why are the pictures after? So some of this may be out of order. But she's like, you're not a rapist or psychotic, are you? And he says, no. And she's like, that's exactly what a psychotic would say. And then she's like, one hand washes the other, but then he talks about backstretching. She's like, no. But yes, I think I agree. She's not down for that.
I think my boyfriend would even let Ben Burns scratch his back. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was surprised when she said that, but it was funny. I felt like I know her from somewhere, and I'm not sure where. Yeah. But either way, she says that she has a truck full of books, and that if he helps her unload and load them, that at all her stops, that she'll take him as far as the public library in Denison, Maine. And that is clearly how he ends up in Maine. I don't know where actually he was heading. I'm curious to know if he had a plan or he was just kind of like, I'm going to go this direction and see where, where it takes me. I don't know. Samuel.
I think it was just like drifting in either case.
Yeah, but maybe he wouldn't have had that job if it wasn't for that. And I have no clue if he was wearing Timberlands. I don't even know what that would look like. But that's what he said. That's what Samuel's asking. I don't know. So yeah, he's going to help her transport the books to the library. So she got some help and he gets a ride there, and that takes him where his path is going to later cross with everybody else, and in the story. So then we go back to Luke, who is talking with his parents about going to MIT. It sounds like he's already been accepted. He'd been talking to the guidance counselor about it, but hadn't talked to his parents about it. And they're kind of like, how long has this been? And yeah, it had been a while. And he clearly has been planning this, but didn't. Sorry, talking to the principal, not the guidance counselor.
Mhm.
For since October. I don't know when it is. So much months, I guess. But he said that the school took him as far as he could, but there's more that he wants to learn, and he doesn't belong there. And he doesn't even know how to explain it to him. And I know the father's like, "We're going to uproot our whole lives. You can tell us." And he tries to explain that it makes him feel small. So yeah, I mean, I know he's trying to be nice, but he kind of sounds a little ungrateful to me a bit. I don't know if it's just because he has trouble connecting with people because he is smarter, but I don't know. Did you feel like
Mhm.
that the way he did it? Because he's just kind of like, this place isn't good enough for me. Is kind of the vibes I got from Luke in these scenes. But
I don't
uh,
know. Maybe this has a Doogie Howser need to succeed vibes.
yeah, maybe. But he goes into this whole thing about an abyss, having a dream about the edge of the abyss, and then he's like, no
It's a
chasm.
Nietzschean dream.
It's like it's an abyss. No, wait, but it's full of things, so it's a chasm. It's bottomless. There's a bridge. I want to walk across it.
Mm.
But as he is talking about it, this pan, there's this mother, the pizza pan falls off the table. And we know that that's from his psychokinesis because we know what happens later. But he is, I don't know that he actually knows that he has psychokinesis. And I wanted to ask you that, like, do you think he realized it, or that it was just kind of one of those things where he had to be told that's what it was? Because most people wouldn't assume they have psychokinesis. Because whenever he talked to
Yeah.
excuse me, I wasn't entirely sure. I don't
Yeah, it
know.
might be those things where every once in a while something around you moves, but you just don't register it because it's uncanny and supernatural, and you
Yeah.
might be a science person.
Okay. Well, that's kind of what I was thinking, and was just curious how you felt, because I really don't think that he was aware of it, or at least not to much of an extent, because he just seems later surprised that he's there. But
So his dad was also on From, that guy?
no, that is not the same guy that's in the show later. Everybody kept saying that in the chat, and
Oh,
then
it
we
was?
realized
Okay.
that's not Frank. It's two different actors that kind of look alike.
They kind of look alike.
They do,
I,
and
I
you're
have
not.
I
I had
have
like
my brightness all the way down, but like with my brightness all the way down, it looks like
I thought it was the same person, and then got confused because later on with the car, because I thought the woman was different and I wasn't sure, but I'm not the only person that said that. So yeah, I don't know. A lot of people thought it was the same person. It wasn't.
yeah.
It's a different family.
Just
Thanks,
turn my
Doc.
brightness up.
No, I don't think it's that. It's just he does look like it. And I thought I had a picture. I don't. But in this
Yeah.
scene, when the pizza plate moves, the woman who works at the institute, I believe her name's Michelle, she sees it happen. So it's clear that she's following him and, getting ready to do what she's going to do, that she's gone to the pizza place. And then he's looking up about MIT, and this is when they're talking and saying that they're going to break in. And he doesn't quite wake up because he's like, "Mom," and she's like, "Whatever you want, kid." And then let's see.
And then there's some kind of like hazy smoke or something.
Yeah. See, that's why I said I think part of this is these might be out of order, because we already did the ones with the
Yeah.
books. So yeah,
Yeah, but
apologies.
he's taking the last books in though at
Maybe.
this place.
Also, the one thing I
The
did
last
mention,
load.
yeah, you might be right, but there's also something I didn't mention that I forgot to mention. That actually kind of looks like our library. That I forgot to mention earlier because it becomes apparent later, is whenever he's playing basketball, there is a point to that scene, I think, which is that if you're paying attention, let me see. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think I have a picture of it, but when he was playing basketball back here somewhere, he looks at his jersey, which I thought I wrote down,
Mm-hmm.
because I was curious if the jersey meant anything, the words on it. I am so sorry, guys. This is just not going as I planned, because half the stuff is all messed up. Because I thought I had written down what is on his jersey, but I don't. Anyway, because I didn't
Yeah.
recognize the team. I thought maybe it was like some kind of Easter egg, and I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah.
He looks at his jersey and there's a hole in it. And that is how one of the reasons why later Garnet, it might have been, thanks, Karen. I'm not sure. But when he is in the room later, he looks at the jersey and he sees there's no hole in it. And that's how he knew that it was, well, that was like one of the first things that clued him in.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Or he could have just gone up to his window.
Yeah, that too. But that was like the first thing.
It wasn't that much of a tea.
That he saw. No, you're right. You're right. All right. So, Tim goes to see Chief John Ashworth. And see, this is where Garnet. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Garnet. What? No, I just said it is Garnet. Karen said Garnet. Big Hex said Garnet. And Karen said it was
Timberwolves too. Yeah, everything's Minnesota. It's like University of Minnesota. I'm just talking over you.
That's okay. So it's a real player then. It's a real basketball player. So it wasn't an Greg like I thought maybe it was. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So this is where I kind of wonder, like, is this a time later, or was this actually where he was headed? Because clearly he has a job interview. So either he suddenly picked up a job interview, or it's some time later, or this was where he was trying to hitchhike in the first place. Because he would, because I kind of thought maybe he was just going with the flow and wherever he ended up. But
yeah, I thought he did when like he first stuck his head in the truck. It seemed like almost like I'm stopping in this part of Maine, and he was kind of like, oh, I guess any place as good as any other place, kind of look on his face. So it's interesting that he has this job interview, unless he just walked in and there was a help wanted sign on the door, which it could have been.
I guess it's possible, but it seems unlikely. So I don't know. He could have even hitchhiked further, but it was a little different. And that's a good point, Karen. I want to bring this up too, and we'll pull this out later when they show other things. But the tech is definitely does not seem to be from now. It's putting, I don't know if they're actually trying to place these show in a certain time period. That Garnet was drafted in 95. Some of the stuff looks older than 95. Or if it's just kind of trying to make it like its own unique, design.
Yeah, but not many people are using cell phones, so that could be a sign.
They're not. They do have cell phones. I do remember they have cell phones in the show. That's not really a spoiler to say that. I don't know if they have it in the episode, but they do have cell phones. But yeah, a lot of the tech definitely does not seem like it makes sense to be around there. So it's I'm getting to some of the stuff and talking some, Justin. I'll get to the questions. I just haven't gotten that far. That's all. You're fine. I'm trying to get through some of the episode too. But yeah, I don't know. Some of the technology doesn't match, and I don't know if it's to make it kind of feel wrong and out of place, or if it's really supposed to be setting it in another time period. I'm honestly not sure. Yeah. So let's see. There was something that I was going to say. What was it that Justin was? Oh, Justin said, I did skip the one earlier. Sorry. Justin had said about Luke that he could be autistic with the way he was acting. I don't know. He could be, but he was just, to me, seemed to be more a little unappreciative, but it's honestly hard to tell. Yeah, I don't know. And the other question you have, Justin, does Tim love Luke as a son? Tim hasn't met Luke yet in the first 2 episodes, so we don't really know what their relationship is yet. So we'll have to wait until we see more to find that out. And I'm going to try to pick up some of the other questions as we go, so they're somewhat in order of the episode, because we got a few from some different people. Dog says, in the book, he gets picked up by someone else after he parts way with the lady who picked him up. That makes more sense. And it might just be they cut that out because it wasn't, it was just filler. Like, did we really need to see him taking a second hitchhiking across the country? She was the one they wanted us to see, I'm guessing. So, yeah, because I don't think he just walked into a police station without references and was like, hey, I want to work here. And I don't think that would work very well. So, yeah. All right. So he talks to John Ashworth, Chief. I'm never going to remember Chief Ashworth. I have written down here, John. I'm going to add it to my notes because otherwise I'm going to keep calling him John. And that's not going to help. So he talks to the police chief, who basically tells him that he has more qualifications than he needs for this job, and that he knows he has a bunch of accommodations that he didn't bother mentioning. And he says he doesn't know if it's modesty or low self-esteem, but he doesn't like it. But he did put down about the Westfield Mall. I feel like, and I don't know why, when I heard this story, I wondered if like this was from a different story or something. And I don't know why I felt like that, but it seems like something.
There are Westfield malls.
No. I mean, it feels like something that could have come from like another of his books or something.
Book.
And yeah, and I'm not even sure why, but that's what it made me think of.
Yeah.
But they talk about the story, and basically what had happened was he was off duty, but he was wearing his uniform. So I guess they don't consider that off duty if you're wearing your uniform, because that part confused me a little bit, because he did say he was off duty, but he's like, yeah, but wearing your uniform.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe he was getting ready to quit. I don't know, for the day, but he had a couple drinks. So that was the only reason it mattered. But when he got into the mall,
I think he quit because it was nighttime.
Yeah, so he probably should
have to stop the mall before it closed.
Yeah,
if he had maybe for a wedding.
Yeah, if he had maybe taken his uniform off, it wouldn't have been an issue. I don't know, but yeah, you're right. He went to get shoes for a wedding. Yeah. But a woman came running through the parking lot and said that somebody had a rifle in their car. So he went in, and the person pulled the gun on him. I assume it said on the cops, on him.
Yeah. AK, apparently.
Yeah. And the kid was 16.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he even says, the chief there even kind of says, like, what he did wasn't inappropriate. He should have shot him. He was going to shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he was 16, it's the fact that he had alcohol in him. But that's why I question, like, I guess if you're going to go drinking, you really need to take your uniform off, because I guess you're not allowed to intervene. But I have to kind of question, even if you're off duty and something like this happens, what would have been the correct course of action? I mean, if he was the only one there and he shot somebody to save people's lives, I don't find the wrong thing. But I mean, I guess his boss.
Yeah, or else maybe that kid would have fired into a crowd of people and killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, so I kind of question that he got, like, he had to choose either dismissal or resignation. So basically he had to resign. So they didn't give him bad, like his record's okay, but he had to resign. So yeah, I don't know that was fair, but I mean, maybe there are rules in certain ways you're supposed to act. I don't know, but it makes it sound like he did it and saved people's lives. And
but there's also a theme in Stephen King's work of alcoholism, and it was kind of hinted at that he couldn't control his liquor.
Yeah, and he said he doesn't now, but he that did. Karen says generally an off-duty cop has a duty to act. The issue was the drinking.
Yeah.
But I have a question, though. If you're off duty, are they never allowed to have a drink? That's why I said maybe if he took his uniform off. But what if he had taken his uniform off and went to the bar? Like, they can't
it's
tell
weird because it's
never
all
allowed to have a drink,
Yeah, I mean, it's all like based on so many factors that like somebody would intervene. But I mean, maybe somebody would know he is a cop even if he didn't have his uniform on, and he would intervene. And I don't know what that would end up being.
Yeah, I don't know, because it seems to me that you would never be allowed to drink. So I'm wondering if it was more he had.
It's just the outfit. He had his cop.
Uniform on. I kind of wonder. Yes, out of uniform is okay. I think the issue is he knew he had been drinking and he drew his weapon and shot someone. Yeah, and that's a problem. But at the same time, if he saved people's lives, like, how do you? But I mean, he wasn't fired. He was allowed to quit, so they didn't permanently, mess up his record. But yeah, it's one of those things. I guess they make the rules, and he was supposed to follow them. And I don't know. I mean, maybe even if he thought he was saving people's lives, maybe if you have something to drink, he should have been like, no, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to call for help. That probably would have been the correct course of action, was calling for help.
But then you have the problems of people being shot in the interim.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you, but that's why he got in trouble. And he did tell this guy this, and I don't think he had to tell him. But he clearly still holds a lot of guilt over what happened, because he killed this kid. So yeah. He does ask him if he's drinking now, and he says no. He can test him, and he believes him. And yeah, he says he's overqualified, but if you want to take the job, you can have it. So he's hired really quickly because he's overqualified. Just like when drunk Denzel Washington landed the plane. Yeah, that's a good point. But I kind of feel like if you save people's lives, there should be extenuating circumstances. But I guess saying that, it kind of depends because he's lucky it went the right way. Like it didn't have to go the right way. It could have went the opposite way, and then we wouldn't be having the same conversation. So strip to us under who said no you. Yes, I agree. Let's just watch a naked Ben Barnes and we're all happy.
He's like, wait a minute for a second, and then he strips down. I think Doc just wants to see Ben Barnes in his unders.
Yeah, I think so too. But I'm down with that.
There's only one solution for this, for me to get naked.
Yeah. But either way, as I said, I think he definitely has a lot of guilt over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't feel it went the right way. And that's why he tells him, even though he doesn't have to. Because I'm assuming, like I said, he doesn't have to because he resigned. So it sounds like he probably could have gotten away with not saying it, but he wanted him to know. So he hires him. Now he hires him as a night knocker. I had looked up and Googled. I wondered if this was a real thing, but apparently a night knocker is something that Stephen King made up. I had never heard of it before.
Like a Tommy knocker?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I mean, he's a cop, but of a very small town. So he goes, I didn't even quite, to be honest, understand exactly what he was doing. He's marking with chalk the buildings he's checked and been to. And yeah, I didn't quite even get exactly what he was doing because it was so low tech. But
it was some kind of like, it felt like security guard work where you go around a perimeter a certain amount of times.
Kind of. Just checking everything is secure and safe. This guy's office, looking at his map in the back, it's just making me think of like Boyd and the map that he has. Before I look at this, that's what it's making me think of. And I'm sorry, I'm putting from references in it that aren't there because really it's not.
I'm sure you won't be the only one. I'm sure there'll be tons and tons of theory videos.
Yeah, it felt like a security guard. But he's clearly more than a security guard because you can't be the security guard of a whole town. At least I don't think you can be. I don't know. Maybe if the town's tiny enough. Doc, the chalk is to keep track of the stores you checked. You erase it on the return round. Yeah. The whole, I don't know, that thing that they gave him was really confusing to me, like what it was supposed to be. I don't know, but it's not something we have. That's for sure. At any rate. So yeah, he agrees to take the job. Then we have, okay, that's when he sees her. That's why I see. Whenever Luke wakes up, this is where he sees, I said, I think her name's Michelle, a flash of the fact that she was there. So she was there in his house.
I don't think you have to know her name for much longer.
And, speaking of, I got to say, I'm curious if they changed the description of, they did. Okay. Because just as an aside, I wanted to mention, when I was looking up about the show before I watched it, before I saw the screeners, I don't know who the hell wrote up the description on Internet Movie Database, but I'm glad they changed it because there was something in the description that was like a huge spoiler. And I don't know if it's maybe something that happens in the book right away and people just put like a book's description, but they did change it. So yeah, you don't have to worry about it. They did change it.
Like in this picture, I think maybe this artwork's Jack Bender's.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It looks like it could be. I mean, it could be, could not be, but
yeah,
could be.
I mean, all I know is his kind of primitive style of painting, but doing it myself, I have more than one technique of doing art. So
yeah, it does seem like it would be something maybe he would have, put his art in. Like, does it necessarily look like his? Maybe not, but it could be very. Doc said it's like a crossing guard job. It's not an officer, but part of the police department. That's fair. Yeah. But either way, it is a job that he made up though, because there are no night knockers. Like that, the whole idea is not exact. It's
not day knockers.
Something. Yeah, day knockers. Yeah. I don't want to say it because I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it's something that was not revealed yet. It will be revealed later on. But I did want to take, I was hoping that you could, I don't think you can actually see stuff. And maybe I should have gotten 4K to try to do these, but I wanted to see if there was anything in his room that was of reference to anything. And I don't know
Yeah.
really what there is. The only things I noticed were the dinosaurs and like science stuff, but he's into
Yeah.
science, so that's expected. And what I'm guessing are, I don't know, some kind of video game coins on his dresser there.
Yeah.
A
You,
little,
you got me excited there for a while because you were going bigger on this like bookcase, and I thought you had these books, and the books were going to be something.
no, you can't read it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That one's a dictionary. I can read the dictionary, but that really doesn't help you much, does it? He has a dictionary. That is not
Words.
yeah, that's not a big thing there. So yeah,
So
he
maybe it could be late 90s. Maybe some people have flip phones, and then, you know.
Sorry, I need to get my medicine out. I don't, I know they do use cell phones. That's
Yeah.
all I remember. But whether, and you're right, Karen, there's not clues everywhere, but it would be nice if there was. And I think
what time does the clock say? What does the clock say? It's on the 7. It's on the 7.
It's after 7. Maybe it's 7:04 in there.
Maybe it's 4. Yeah, 4 after 7.
Oh God, that burnt. Yeah, but that is Timberwolves. But that picture on his wall there could be like a painting or something. I kind of wonder how they duplicated his room, unless they really brought everything from home, because I kind of assumed they would have just like pulled everything out of his room and stuck it on in the room. But like the fact that his jersey was different proves that they didn't do that, at least with some of the stuff. But you would think those paintings, like, would it be easy to replicate that stuff? I don't know. Jen says the red yellow, I'm assuming this is sarcasm, but maybe not, I don't know. The red, yellow, and green are like Eldrin's shirt from, and the red has tentacles like the cave drawing. I just am looking. I don't expect to find hidden meanings in this show. I just would like to see some Easter eggs, just because I know people are looking for them. So yeah. But he pretty quickly realizes that it's not his place. There's no hole in the uniform, and yeah, he has no.
Yeah, it's weird because usually this trope lasts a little longer.
It does. It does feel like this part kind of moved through really.
For all the effort they made to make this room look like his room at home, I felt like there should have been a little bit more of a payoff.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think we're all overdosing on From Jen. We're all and yeah, there are some clues. No, whoops, I clicked on the wrong thing. There are some clues, not at a From or Boss level, but there are some things. And I know there are some references, not necessarily to From, but to other Stephen King things, and some things that I noticed that kind of maybe foreshadow things that are going to happen and that kind of thing.
So how did they get replicas of everything?
I don't know.
They know it makes you feel like they knew the parents were involved in it. Because how else would you get in the room and be able to see everything?
Yeah, I don't know. Karen said, I think they snuck in at some point, Snoop, so they could duplicate it, but they couldn't know his jersey was ripped that day. Right. I hadn't thought about the fact it ripped right then. That was how he knew then, was supposed to be because of that. But yeah, I would think that if he's that smart, like, he wouldn't have been fooled. I would think it would be a lot easier just to take everything from his room and stick it there. But it's it doesn't matter. And yeah, they can get in when the family's out. That's kind of the sneaking in. But anyway, he figures out pretty quickly that it's not his room, and he starts going down the hall. And this is where we get all the posters. I choose to be happy. Your gift. I can't read what the other one says. Your gift is important. What's that Severance quote? Is I forget what the Severance quote is. That's how much I remember, but it made me think.
Which one?
When they say something is something and important, and I'm blanking. I don't know. It just made me think of it.
Our work is mysterious and important.
Mysterious and important. That's what I was trying to think of. Mysterious.
No, I was thinking of Hang In There, because that was the only poster I remembered in Severance.
Yeah, the Hang In There poster is cool. But either way, it's funny. So they're watching him on the camera, and he does. The cameras seem to be older cameras, but he mentions the cameras are like a decade old. So I don't think that counts as being old tech. But they're watching him, and he goes to talk to this girl here, Kalisha, who is kind of his introduction into the Institute, because they don't come out to meet him right away. And I did want to find out what those hieroglyphics mean, but I did not get a chance to do that. So if somebody knows, I'm curious. We're gonna have to at least find that out, because that could be something. I feel like that's a perfect place for an Easter egg or something, or it could just be that that's like a shirt they sell at Walmart. Who the hell knows?
Or it
But
could be
anyway,
a shirt with her name on it, because those are very popular to get shirts and necklaces with the
um,
cartouches with your name, with the letters from
yeah,
your name.
her name's pretty long to fit in there, but yeah,
Well,
it
they
could
call
be.
her Shaw, though.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I somewhere have had a
A
thing that,
cartouche necklace.
well, I had a thing that told what things said, but the
Yeah.
different highlights. But yes,
Well,
I
we could
actually
look up
have.
a leg. There's like a leg. You could look that up, and a little symbol above it,
Yeah,
and a feather. I mean, those are a lot of characters.
they are. So yeah, maybe it could be her name. But I was going to say yes. Actually, I have a cartouche necklace. I was going to say that. I have
Yes.
a. It's like a. I think it was my name. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember for sure. I got it at a museum, at the museum here.
Mm-hmm.
But I love Egyptian stuff, so don't remember enough to know what the things mean, but I like Egyptian.
They're very popular at one time. They might still be popular, but they're very
Yeah,
popular.
they might be. Karen doesn't like Kalisha. Why not? I like Kalisha. I don't dislike Kalisha.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
And I'm not sure about her
That's
making
because she
out.
wants to spread chickenpox to everyone.
Yeah, I was trying to spread. And I kind of wonder if part of that, maybe she really was trying to keep him there longer and make him sick. I thought she was just flirting with him, but when I watched it this time, it made me kind of wonder.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she's telling him what's going on. I probably shouldn't move on to her yet. He asks if they're in Minneapolis. She says no. What she wants to know is how smart he is, and if Critter says Kalisha rubs me wrong too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really. I don't like her. I'm not saying like I
I'm
like
gonna
Kalisha.
have some. I'm gonna have some Shaw love. I'm gonna put some Shaw love in her direction.
Okay, yeah, because like I'm not saying I particularly like her. I just don't know I particularly dislike her either. I'm just kind of
I don't know enough about her right now to form an opinion.
right,
Except that she
exactly.
likes to, welcome people with making out, but then she also likes to spread chickenpox.
Yeah, trying to spread her chicken box.
I mean, a girl's got to have hobbies.
Yeah. She wants to know how smart he is and if he's TK or TP, because they don't tell them that, which we find out, if we didn't know at this point, is telekinesis and telepathy, which is what is kind of the big through line, I guess, of these, potentially a lot of Stephen King story, but of course of this one. She can read minds, so I think that the Institute could use her to spy on the others. Yeah, I'm not sure if they specifically put her there to spy on them. It's possible. I think they made a point of saying something like it was easier for kids to accept what was going on if they heard it from another kid that went through it, as opposed to like an adult, which is kind of why she's stationed there. But they definitely could have her be giving misinformation. I don't know.
For tokens.
For tokens. That's true. Let's see. I was seeing if we missed. I was making sure we didn't miss something about this part. I think it's all after though. Let's see. I'm not saying she's evil or bad, but more self-serving, might betray them in the future type vibes. Maybe. Thanks, Bill. Welcome. You have to be one kid. You have to have one kid be a rat. That's fair. Yeah, there's no rat on the other.
Ooh, KUSIE.
I'll have to say.
Who's the rat?
Yeah, who is the rat? Maybe her shirt says rat. Who knows?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, she's asking him about his psychic powers, whatever, his supernatural powers, and she says that no one's both when they get here. Yes, her name does start with a K. It's Felicia. Says that no one starts with both when they get there. So they're either, what I got out of it that was sort of a little confusing is, so they're either telekinesis or psychokinesis, or they have
telepathy or telekinesis.
Psychokinesis is the same thing, but they're calling it telekinesis. They have one or the other. So I guess the experiments are not only to boost what they have, but to boost the opposite one because they don't have both. So it was my opinion from what they said that they're trying to like bring out their other latent abilities, I guess. But it's not really super explained yet. But yeah, she wants to know about that. And he does tell her how he moved. Sometimes things move around him, but he didn't think that it was enough that this could have been the reason he got kidnapped, or like she says they call it recruited. One or the other, but rare if you have both. Yeah. I think they said that nobody had like been there that had yet anyway, I think was the idea. So yeah. But anyway, she's TP. She can hear things in her head. She's always been able to. And he starts asking her all kinds of questions, like, where are our parents? Can we talk to them? And she's like, no, it's classified. So, I mean, I'm kind of, if I was these kids, I feel like I'm team Nikki in the sense that they're being fed a lot of bullshit. And to believe that like a lot of, I don't know, a lot of what they're saying, what they're being told sounds like bullshit. Oh, you're saving the world, and oh, you're going to help save the world, and then we're going to erase your memory, and you're going to go back to your happy family, and everything's going to be chill. Yeah, that I don't believe. I don't know that I even believe the saving the world part. We don't know what it's about, or that it's classified. I mean, yeah, I don't know, because we don't really know a lot of anything yet, but I would like to know more about that. These kids are all full of shit if they only stay 13 days and barely overlap with each other and can't put together a lot of info. And I think that maybe part of the reason they do that, if you think about it, like maybe they try to rotate them out so they don't have time to talk about it. And they obviously have
You don't want them
cameras.
to put those powers together now, do you?
No, they don't. I know they could overrun the place, which I'm assuming is probably going to happen at some point. But yeah. And the other thing is apparently the video cameras most of the places don't have sound. I know they made a point of saying that Maureen told them the places they could talk. That's later in the episode, or in one of the episodes. It was like kind of almost a throwaway comment, but really wasn't. I mean, it was framed as one, but it's important. So anyway, Sigsbee here, she is the one that runs the whole place. And Hendrix, who is of course from
Robert Joy.
Yeah, Robert Joy is the science guy, the doctor who runs the test.
Loves jump roping, apparently. Loves jump ropes.
The book I thought was 3 weeks on average, I thought was 3 weeks on average according to Shaw. Maybe in here, I think she said 15 days, so it might be a quicker turnaround in the show compared to the book, because I'm pretty sure she says like 15 or 14 or something like that. But yeah, the book could be a little different. But anyway, he's the doctor in here. He's the one that will run the tests, and he does find out a bit more from them. Right now, this is when they're talking amongst themselves, watching Luke, seeing how he reacts, knowing he's questioning things. He's smarter than everybody else. And he does, they talk about the front half. They'll get the back half when they graduate the front half, which is, like I said, 2 weeks, whatever it is. And they don't answer a lot of questions. He asks about meeting them. And she's like, they usually let us wander around first. I don't know if she said wander or wonder, but they let him do one of those first.
I think wander, probably.
Yeah. And he says
wonder.
why. Yeah. And he says why. And that's when Dr. Hendricks says no one ever thought to question that. And he thinks that they want to have it, come from her because she's a kid. He won't be as scared. So they think, or he thinks they think. And they talk about his observational powers, and he talks about the rooms, and he does talk about some of that to them, but this must be beforehand because this is when they're talking about him. And they talk about, should they consider him for a PC track? And we were talking about this earlier in the chat and Discord. I don't know if that's just supposed to be, like about an ability or not. I don't know, because it's not explained, but whatever this PC track is, Sigsbee tells him that it's on indefinite hold that their point is to keep the conveyor belt moving. In other words, keep the kids moving through, and something about the keyholes have tightened, and we don't know what that is yet. So those are kind of the big things that don't make a whole lot of sense that they're talking about. And yeah, so he's watching them. Precog, that's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, I don't know if PC means precog or not. I didn't think it did, but I honestly don't even remember, so I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Well, that would make sense. I mean, telepathy, telekinesis, being able to see the future would be kind of the next thing. Yeah, that would definitely be great power. I agree. That makes sense. I just was thinking for some reason it meant something completely different. It didn't make a lot of sense, but
well, it's like TP plus TK equals PC.
yeah, maybe. Jen says, at least in the book, PC does refer to precognition, the ability to foresee future events. The Institute uses children with these abilities, including telekinesis and precognition. Okay. Well, then it does. But either way, that has been like not, they've shut that part down. So at least at this point, they're not testing for precognition, and yeah, they're not worried about that right now. So this is where Kalisha kisses him. And she goes through this whole thing about how she had chicken pox and she was in quarantine, and she's trying, and I don't know if she meant it or not. I thought when I watched it the first time she was just flirting with them, but that she's trying to give them all chicken pox so they have to stay in the front half longer. I don't know, but I tend to think it's just Kalisha. But
she just likes to welcome everybody in the best, friendliest way.
I don't know, because there was a couple things when they mentioned it the one time when they were saying that kid was too little. It makes me think that it's more of like a tactic to get close to them or to get information, and that's what they use him, or maybe to read him better. That could also be the case, Jen. Whoops, I'm not clicking right. It could be to be able to read his mind a little better. She does make a point of saying like she sees the thoughts that are on the surface. Like she can't go super deep, at least not at this point. Karen says, I don't think it's that they're not worried about PC right now. I think they got shut down. Maybe something bad happened. That department got shut down, I think it is, because he says the PC track is on indefinite hold, is what he says.
You know, like a fire starter where they have pyrokinesis, and that didn't go very well either.
Yeah, they shut that down.
It got burnt down.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, whoops, big whoops. I don't know. I haven't heard of sex criminals, so no, I haven't read that. Doc says she thinks they won't survive this and is living for a day. Oh, that's true too. Yeah. Meaning Kalisha, she could just be doing what she wants to do in case she doesn't. That's a good point too. Lori says Stackhouse is creepy. Stackhouse is most definitely creepy. I agree with that statement a lot. So yeah, he's there as security. He brings him in, but first we switch to Tim talking to. I had her name up, but I don't have it in this part. Wendy. Okay, Wendy. I think yeah, it is Wendy. I was trying to find her last name. Wendy Gullickson, which is a comic when the characters have sex, they freeze time. That's an interesting comic. I want to read that. No, I'm kidding. That's an interesting comic. But they use it to go make trend. That's kind of cool though. That's a weird thing. I had not heard of that before. But anyway, Officer Gullickson. So she talks about it ended, or that's why it started. Okay. I lost now my picture here. Okay, so she gives him that chalk thing and tells him how he has to mark things and punch, or there's spots to punch on it. I don't know. But
I'm not really sure about the dynamics.
Yeah, that's the part I kind of didn't get a lot of the details. I'm sorry, I keep moving. I'm getting a stomach ache. I don't know, something bothered my stomach. She talks about the old cop there that used to make 6 circuits around the town, and he was like, I guess, quite a few miles. I don't know if that was sarcasm.
14 miles, yeah.
Yeah, trying to say
14. It has a 4 in it. Put it down in your scorecard.
It does. I don't know if that was more to make him feel inadequate or if the guy actually went that much, but Yeah, I'm not sure the point of going around there 6 times. Like, isn't the point of marking it that you went there? Like, why would you need to go again? I don't know. But
We might learn about that later. Yeah, it was also a question I
yeah,
had.
yeah. But either way, it's a quiet town, and he can tell that they are annoyed with him and don't like him or don't seem to. And I don't know if it's just because he's new, because the chief let him in without him doing much
Hmm.
in the way of work to get there. Excuse me,
It
I
might
don't
be,
know.
and plus he's overqualified, so he might be too, kind of, you know,
Yeah, there's all these maps over there.
hoity-toity, I guess.
Yeah, they're kind of set in their ways, and I think they just don't want big town guy coming in.
Yeah.
But he's trying to connect with them. It's just not they're not connecting right quite yet. All right, so they're taking him back now to see Sigsbee. And also, again, I don't know if this is out of order. Sometimes I wonder if I'm bumping the thing that changes the file type, if it changes where it's at. And maybe it's like not by date order anymore. I don't know, because I have written here that the whole thing about that Michelle comes out of the elevator or out of somewhere, I don't know. And he seems to recognize her. He just doesn't know from where, but they
Yeah.
they get going. But yeah, he sits down to talk to Sigsbee, and she has Stackhouse there. She says in case he does something to harm somebody or harm himself, because that tends to happen when they get scared. But they don't tell him much of anything. And she does offer him jelly beans, and he's like,
Well, he
"Do you want to?"
offered him a soda, and he just took the soda right away, and then was confused
Yeah,
about
I
the jelly
know.
beans.
Yeah,
But
I
they
know.
could
And
they
she
they,
asked,
they could have put something in the soda.
very much could have, but she asked him about the jelly beans, and he says, "Do you think that you can tell which color it takes to sense my personality?" And she's like, "No, I like jelly beans. I thought you might too." That was sarcasm.
Put it on your from scorecard. Different
Yeah,
colors of jelly beans. What does it mean?
yeah. I don't know. Karen's like I said, that was like, "Don't drink it." Yeah, I was kind of
Yeah.
surprised that she drank it right away. Now, the other thing I do want to mention here in this scene, and I'll zoom in. I
Oh,
immediately thought when I saw these that this, and I don't want to go too much into anything, but if you've seen the trailers, this definitely looks like something we get a very quick
oh
view.
yeah, like the dream box or whatever.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that is kind of foreshadowing that.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, that's cool. And it looks
I
like he
just
has one.
remember it because it reminds me of the box in Twin Peaks: The Return, which is about the same.
Oh, okay. Well,
And things
either
appear
way,
in it.
yes.
So I'm assuming something's gonna appear in it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That makes me think of 13th Ghost, though. Actually, when you
Yeah.
say that. But anyway, he asks if she wants him to cry and scream and beg for him, to be let go. He
Mm.
clearly has a lot of sarcasm and doesn't isn't scared. Well, I mean, he's probably some scared, but he's trying to act not scared. He does
Hmm.
say that he analyzes it's better to focus on logic than to think about being kidnapped,
Yeah.
recruited. But this is where she starts telling him, "Oh, the work that you do, it's the most important work anywhere on earth. You save the world. This is what you're here for." And he's like, "Well, okay, I want to talk to my parents then," which she won't negotiate with him.
Hmm.
Um, and this is where I kind of question sometimes the way they do things in shows, not in shows, but like bad guys, quote unquote, bad
Hmm.
guys do things, or people who think they're doing the right thing and they're not. Like if they truly were trying to save the world, right? Why not recruit kids like him or who are smart, but tell them this is what you're doing and we want
Yeah.
you to help us? Because I'm guessing that probably the majority of the kids would say yes, but they don't do that. Instead, they
Yeah.
force
Or approach
their
their parents, pay them generously,
yeah,
not have all these weird, dirty walls and stuff, and have a nice looking place that isn't scary.
yeah. I mean, then maybe they wouldn't fight it if they
Yeah.
didn't do it the way they do. But
But
yeah,
then I thought at the same time maybe they want that because that makes the TK and TP
maybe.
better.
Yeah, it
Because they
might
did
be.
talk about that one thing that was like a horror, like you relive your horror in the dream box or whatever, and it's like,
Yeah, in the dream box, definitely. But
yeah. So maybe
other
the
than that,
negative emotions outweigh the positive ones.
maybe because it does make me question that there aren't easier ways to do this and to get what
Yeah.
you want.
Or
But we
cleaner
really don't
ways.
know. But I think the biggest thing is we really don't know what the ultimate outcome is and how much of
The
it is
goal.
lies. And sorry,
Yeah.
what?
The goal of things.
Yeah, we
The
just don't
saving
know.
the world bit.
Yeah, they're going to be saving the world, so she says. And she says that she won't negotiate with him and that her responsibility is to see the work gets done and it will get done. And she won't tell him more about
It
it.
sounds
She's like,
very
oh,
Severance-y, like you said
it
before.
does, it does. And she's like, let them fill you in. You're more likely to accept it coming from a kid. And then she says, we don't actually call them kids. And she says, because there's no bedtime, no chores, there's nothing they're not allowed to have. They're treated like grown-ups.
You can smoke if you got them.
Smoke if you want. But she says that they will get grown-up consequences. That there's rules in there. If they break them, they get grown-up consequences. He asks what the rules are. My first question would have been, what are the consequences?
Yeah. Well, my question would be, do you have a handbook?
Yeah, that too. That's a better answer. But I would have asked what the consequences are, because then like maybe you're gonna not listen anyway. But then again, she probably would figure that out.
Yeah.
But anyway, she says that there's one main rule: to follow any order from a staff without question or delay. Like, that's not really a exactly fair rule, but that's what it is. Critter says TK plus TP equals PC foresee future events to prevent them, just to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. My theory so far. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Well, my theory was more like when they had the dots and they said they had to line up the dots, and I thought if they lined up the dots, then they got precognition.
Yeah, I don't know. And they had to turn lights on and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very, very vague. Dots of the multicolored jelly beans mean there'll be a man in rainbow.
Yeah. So scorecard.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Would you prefer TP or TK? Now, I asked this to, obviously I'd said before, I asked this to Joe Friedman and Ben Barnes. I kind of feel like maybe I'd want TK. I don't know. I feel like I'm lazy. I want to be able to move things.
The television remote to come into your hand.
If I'm 100% honest, I feel like
I need a beverage.
I mean, I think it would be nice to be able to read people's minds sometimes, but I feel like you'd also hear a lot of things you don't want to hear, because people
You think it's going to be like Suki Stackhouse, where you just hear everybody's mumblings all the time and can't control it?
Yeah, the one thing is it would suck if you couldn't turn it off, so that would be bad.
Yeah.
Not a lot of shows, but also like, I mean, you would hear everything, even things people don't want you to hear, and sometimes you shouldn't hear everything people think, because you can be in a bad mood and think something awful, and could say something really hurtful. I don't know. I wouldn't want to read somebody's mind all the time.
I would probably want TP over TK, because I don't think TK's that interesting. You can only lift less than 8 pounds.
Well, they hadn't. I think they could only lift like less than 8 pounds. They said at that point, because they hadn't practiced enough. I assume that there's a possibility to get stronger, but I don't know. I think TK could be cool. TP, it would depend if you could turn it on and off, really.
Yeah.
I want.
Well, also a TK, because sometimes in movies, TK, you can't turn it off or on either. Like if you get angry, then things explode.
Okay, that's a good point.
Like in Legion. Yeah, you saw Legion, right? Where like, David is just like all the things in his kitchen are flying around because he's angry and he can't control it.
Yeah, that's a good point. So
that kind of crazy thing.
No psychic power unless you can control it. How's that? But yes, would be better. Or sing. I don't know. I enjoy singing. I just suck at it. I agree with the Karen. It's a rule that by their nature, teenagers can't get in line with. Yeah, you tell them you have to do everything you're told. They're not going to do what they're told. I mean, that's given, very much a given. But she says that they have to follow all their rules, do what they say without question, that they'll get injections and they'll be tested and they will comply, and they won't, except with a few exceptions, find them excessively unpleasant. So yeah, it doesn't sound like some of them are so great, but most of them are okay, apparently. They'll be more like after you will wipe your memory, you'll go home, everything will be happy, and yeah, everything will be fine. And
you'll suffer no residual trauma whatsoever, we swear.
Yeah, we swear it'll be perfect. And he's
Yeah,
like, "Are my parents alive?" And she says, "Of course, we're not monsters."
maybe.
Yeah, and he's like, "Do they know where I am?" Generally, yeah, they know he's in the
No.
United States, probably. That's like generally right. But she says time will pass quickly when he wakes up. The only thing that'll be sad is that he won't know how he served humanity. Blah blah blah, lots of bullshit. He does question because he's smart. He's like, "How could you wipe that many people's memories?" I mean, you think about it. It's not like Men in Black, right? But she's like, "You'd be surprised what we can do." Yeah, I don't. A lot of that's a bunch of bullshit. Um, and he says he does make a point of saying, "My room's not supposed to make me feel comfortable. Just let me know you're trying to make me feel comfortable." So yeah, they want to. I think they want to mind fuck them. I mean, they're.
No,
I don't know.
no,
That's what I personally thought when I watched this. Like they want to mess them up. They want to keep them on their toes. They want to keep them confused. Um, they don't want them.
notice that he's wearing red in the shot for your scorecards.
Yes, yes, yes.
Might be important later. I don't know.
Yeah. Karen said so far our guy had two tests and they both sucked, the ear clip and the dot shot. You're not wrong, but I guess that's not considered excessively unpleasant. So
Why did
I guess
why did he have to get the most vicious looking ear thing they could possibly put in his ear too that looks like it's gonna give you like tetanus or something?
yeah, and that's another thing. Like that definitely seems like old tech. Like why not just
Mm-hmm.
use like if it is just he said he was chipping them. I assume that
Mm-hmm.
it's a tracker. If you're using a tracker, why not just use like a regular chip, like you put in a dog or whatever, just like a
Mm-hmm.
little processor chip. You don't need that.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I do think they're trying to not make people not like it. Critter says I think that ear chip does more than track.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Yes, it does look kind of medieval. It doesn't look pleasant
Yeah.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it could do something bad. All right, so then we go back to Tim, who is going to meet Annie here. There's Annie. And they have this conversation about his fillings and a bunch of stuff. She's clearly a conspiracist.
Mm-hmm.
She thinks a
Porcelain's
lot
from
of
China and
yeah.
gold
She
is he has gold fillings.
so he's good. The aliens aren't trying to contact him, I guess she thinks.
Yeah.
But yeah, she believes in a lot of stuff. She seems like she doesn't know she's in all there. She's maybe crazy. We don't know. She maybe has Alzheimer's. We just don't know.
Or maybe
But
she knows everything and people
or
just
maybe
don't listen to her.
could also be, could be. But she does sound a little off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm saying because of old tech. I do think the old tech is strange, but sometimes I'm wondering if it's just for the look of the show,
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, could it enhance or suppress their powers? Yeah, maybe that Tony that's really cruel, maybe he turns their powers down so they can't do anything and tells them to do it just because he wants to watch them try because he's like an asshole. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Curtis says there's no way she isn't connected. So yeah, back to Annie. Annie seems like she's not all with it, but I think some of what she says at least may be true. She does call Tim Sport, which is what his mom did, and she knew what he was named after. I think it said Porky and Bess. I couldn't get it off the captions fast enough. But
Yeah, it's
it was
Porgy and Bess, but there was a little hesitation, so that makes me feel like she's a little sus because she's just like throwing out a name that isn't quite right, so he can say, "Oh, Porgy and Bess."
yeah, maybe
Like she already knew that information ahead of time.
Yeah, the ones where psychics don't really know anything because they say it in a way that you confirm things. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
My initial thoughts were maybe they're not lying. Maybe they do send him home. Maybe she's one of these kids that was there decades ago and it fucked her up, but
Yeah, and look, she's absolutely
mom.
fine from that experience.
Yeah, she's
No
absolutely fine.
trauma, no problems.
And yeah, when I say not lied, I don't lie. I mean, maybe they didn't lie about sending her home.
Yeah.
Sending them home. But yeah, because that's what that immediately made me think that she has some TP powers and she can read his mind, and that's how she knows.
Yeah.
Because Kalisha said like they can't necessarily tell everything, but they can read thoughts from like skim them from the top of their head. So
Or else it was just a good guess because Sport is kind of a common nickname.
Yeah.
It wasn't something completely crazy and long that you would obscure.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that it's supposed to be relevant. But either way, She says when he asks how she knows that, she says there's stuff going on he wouldn't believe. So yeah, she's trying to convince him that she knows shit. And then we go back to Michelle talking to Stackhouse, and he's asking about the next recruit and saying it's going to be a complicated snatch. She is upset, doesn't want to rush it because she seems to not like whatever happened when they broke into Luke's house. She says that, they didn't want, how am I trying to phrase what I'm trying to say? They made him rush it, and they're not the ones. She said something like they're not the ones that deal with the consequences or something like that. And he says basically that Luke was going to get a lot of publicity when he was accepted to MIT. So they made decisions so that whatever people, I'm guessing it's so people wouldn't be looking for him. I don't know what it was, but like maybe they stopped that from going out. I don't know. But there was some kind of consequences, and she clearly doesn't seem to like it. Is there a book character named Stackhouse or maybe a reference? I have no idea.
Stackhouse?
Well, yeah, Silky Stackhouse, but that's not Stephen King.
That's the only one I have.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. That's an AJ question. You can ask him tomorrow. It's an AJ question. But anyway, she is kind of questioning what's going on. And then at the end, she's like, I'm sorry, sir. Like she quits asking. So she's clearly scared of this guy. And I think probably with good reason. He seems kind of scary, like you shouldn't trust him.
Well, she was spitting out that she had 40 hours leave too. Like she just wanted to shut down the conversation.
Yeah. I do not understand sometimes when my watch answers when you say something.
Oh, because I'm trying to control you and your watch.
No, I don't know, but Siri just went, I do not understand. I'm like, okay, you don't understand either.
Well, leave the money in my post office box, watch.
Yeah, I don't know, it does that sometimes. So then out on this road, they say they have, or she comes out first. Her cell phone comes back on after she gets past the gate. That's the kind of important thing there. They clearly turn all their cell phones off. They have a sign it's supposed to be a microbiological place. Clearly, that's not why it's, blocked off. But this family comes in. Now, I thought it was his parents. I'm not the only one. So
see, this is confusing because those two actors do look a lot alike.
Similar. The other guy had a beard. Maybe they're brothers. Who knows?
No, because I got messed up in my head because I thought these were the parents trying to find their kid.
I thought the exact same thing when I first saw it, but I'm like, who is this girl? So it didn't. And then I realized after.
Maybe you have a sibling. I haven't seen her before.
Well, the thing is then after I realized he was the one that was from, and I'm like, I don't think that other guy was. And so, yeah, not the same people.
Because it would have been an interesting plot point if one of the parents tried to look around that building and they didn't know who they were, and it's like, my kid's missing.
Yeah. I would assume though, if they were somebody that were related to the people who snatched, they probably would have shut it down right away.
Yeah, it's true.
Because you're saying they could be looking for a different kid, but that's what I feel like. Unless they hired somebody, I feel like if they saw parents of a kid, they'd turn them around real quick.
Notice the red tablet, everybody, for your scorecard.
Pink. It looks pink to me. But then again, maybe
pink also a color in here.
Maybe the parents got paid a lot of money to let their kids go, and they know he's a genius, and they were going to let him go. Who knows?
Yeah.
But you could be right though that I never thought about it that way. That since Sookie had a TP, that maybe it just was kind of a joke about that. I don't know. Could be an Easter egg.
I don't know. People get influences from everything. There's like Van Palmer and Laura Lee on Yellow Jackets were named after Twin Peaks characters. I mean, maybe these people like True Blood.
Yeah, who knows? As for it's also based on a book too. Maybe he likes the author or whatever. Who knows? But would you drag your other kid along? Probably not. But then again, if one of my kids was kidnapped, I don't know that I'd let my other kid out of my sight.
Yeah, so shit. Yeah, good point.
Maybe. Yeah. But anyway, this guy who's the security guard, he tells him, how to go back and gives him directions to the leave because they're like, oh, went off the wrong exit. So whether or not that's true, we don't know, but he sends him back. And like I said, that is Frank from that ends up in the box.
And that's how his family got to From. They turned around and they found a tree. And then they turned around again, and then they were in From.
Yeah, I like that. I like that theory.
And that's Megan.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Megan. You know, I wonder. I want to look. I know it's too old to be Megan, but wouldn't it be so hilarious if it was the other family? That would be so funny. But then people would totally be
If it
trying to
was
say.
like Frank and Megan and Lauren, like on the
I would have
car.
loved that Easter egg. But then the thing is, I feel like with From, if they actually did that, people would really believe it was connected to From because some people
Uh-huh.
would believe that.
But
I
it'd be
just
funny because they made a wrong turn here, and then they went on their way, and then they found the tree, and then they made another turn.
You know what I mean? You know, that reminds me though. I meant to go back out and find out what it was because it was half dark and I didn't see it. But somebody had in their yard, I think it was like some kind of storage container. But I looked at it really quick, and this was earlier today. And I swear that it reminded me of the box. And I'm like, what the
Mm.
hell is that in their yard? And then I started laughing and I'm like, no. So
Yeah, but I
yeah.
think it's all an old U-Haul, like those Rondé movers, like
Yeah. Yeah.
moving
They
thing.
made it into
Megan.
that, but it looked like that. I thought it was
Yeah.
funny. So anyway, they're going to turn back around and yeah, they're going to go off. So then we have where did I left off? Let's see. Okay, so this is Maureen. I don't know if I have a better picture of Maureen, but there's Maureen and she seems to be helpful, I guess. She seems to be a nice person. We don't really know. They mentioned about the tokens that you get if you're good, and she's like, because she's asking, did they tell you there are rewards so you can use them in the vending machine? And you know, she's trying to be nice and keep them calm, I guess, or maybe just to keep them calm. I don't know. And then this asshole comes out, Tony, who
Yeah.
we found out later is his name.
But with the
Tony.
other shot, wouldn't it be nice for them to just put up some paint or something on those like scary looking walls? Put some
Yeah,
tiles
I
up on the
know.
ceiling.
They want it to look
Make it
scary.
like not look like it's a serial killer's crypt.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like cement, you know, basement or something. It's scary. So Tony is clearly an asshole to everybody.
Yes.
He's, I mean, I don't, he was, I mean, he was still sexually harassing her, but I don't think he was actually flirting with her. I think he was just being an ass.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he is nasty to Luke, and he's like, "You're gonna let me put this ear clip on?" And when he asks about it, he don't want to answer anything. He's like, "You're just trying to be smart." And yeah, he's like, "It's gonna go on whether you want him to or not." He says he's gonna chip his earlobe, and when he refuses to do it, he slaps him in the face, which was, I feel like, really harsh. And he could have given him some kind of
Yeah, a
warning.
little
But
bit, you know,
so
over the
yeah, that
top.
was, it was a bit much. And I agree, it was kind of hard to watch and it was a lot. But I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but when I saw that, I kind of got the opinion that that was that guy. Like, I'm not saying they cared per se, because like that Hendrix could have said something and didn't stop him, because I think he was in there at
Yeah.
that room at that point. But I don't know that they're always beating them up unless they don't listen. I think most of them listen. Like, clearly Nikki doesn't always listen.
Well, because as soon as you get backhanded by Tony, you start to listen.
Yeah, well, but he had a broken finger that it sounded like somebody broke. So I
Yeah,
don't
great.
know. I really don't know. Not being ass domineering move. Yeah, it is dominance too. It's both. But I just,
Mm-hmm.
when I said he was being an ass, I mean like he wasn't flirting with her. I don't think he meant it as flirting. He meant it, yeah, as domineering. That makes sense. Okay, that's point. They do have well, they have cameras most places. Maureen tells them where they can. They said something about Maureen told them where they could talk. They do have cameras most places. Yes, so they're not stopping what he does. I just don't get the opinion that they all beat them up all the time unless they're like a problem. I think Tony enjoys beating them up. Yeah, it seems to be more than that with Tony. And it's, yeah, he's scary. I don't like Tony. But either way, he backhands him and he forces him to get his ear clipped. And I thought I had a picture, but I don't. It is a bit barbaric looking, and looks like he's going to get tetanus or something.
Yes.
But yeah. So okay, so where did I go? I lost where I was. Okay, so he makes him do it. Then we go to back to Tim, and he meets with, I don't know the character's name in here, Norbert Hollister.
The real tall guy.
Well, I just say Pendrell from X Files, that's where I know him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he talks to him, and this is where I do believe this was meant to be a from Easter egg. He says something like, "I wouldn't be caught dead working for the snowflake or that snowflake or something." For the police chief, even if he was staring at the cop's ass or whatever he says. So yeah, I don't know. The way he said snowflake to me seemed a lot like Jade said snowflake, and I think it was just kind of a little Easter egg, a little joke.
Put it down on your scorecards, everyone.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, like I said, it doesn't have meaning. I just think it. If you don't beat a kid but you allow it, isn't that the same thing? Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying I think he seemed to me to be the one that was doing it and instigating it. They didn't stop him, so they're just as much at fault and just as much wrong. You're right, Karen. They are. But I'm just saying I don't think they're getting beaten up all the time. I think it was more that's a Tony thing. That doesn't make it okay, but I don't know. I mean,
my calling card is the bruise on your face.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, she said that not everything was deeply unpleasant. So I don't know. Some of the things clearly are. So it's hard to tell. All right. So then he goes off to see.
He goes for breakfast.
He's going for breakfast and he finds Annie. She's getting batteries for her podcast she's listening to. And he offers to help her because she is, I don't got enough pictures of that. She is trying to talk to this woman who, that must be after that she starts flipping out. See, that's where I'm saying things don't seem to match up with my order. Later, she must get upset later. This is just he's offered to help pull the batteries. So at the bar, Michelle goes to talk to this reporter. I believe her name was Kate, I think. Right? Look, I think it's Kate.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Well, I don't want to call the wrong person. Let me see. Kate.
I didn't even know she was a reporter.
Yes.
I mean, this all went by in a flash, if you get what I mean.
No, it did. But yeah, her name's Kate. She's a reporter. And she tries to talk to Michelle about her job. And she says, oh, it's secret. She can't talk about it. And she says that there's a theory about what they do at that institute. Some people think it's aliens. Other people think they're making flavors or something. But they start making out. And there's some comments about she didn't need to talk to her about being a reporter or something because that's not why she went there to see him. Karen disagrees on snowflake. I've never heard it before. I thought it was more.
I heard it all the time. Special snowflake.
Okay, well maybe it's just not something I've heard a lot.
They apply it to millennials, Jamie.
Okay, well I kind of thought it more seemed like the tone of voice made me think of Jade. The way he said it was more why I took it as an Easter egg. But I don't know. Could not be. I could be reaching. You're probably right. But at any rate, I haven't heard people say it, so I don't know. They don't say it around here, I guess.
It's usually applied to school techniques. Like people are a lot nicer to kids, so they call them special snowflakes.
Yeah, no, that I've heard, but like the way he put it sarcastic, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're on a date. They make out, and then we go back to. Sorry, I'm realizing we're like an hour and a half, and we're not even done with the first episode. So.
That's fine. They're probably going to make out too soon.
Yeah,
you got a good shot of her shirt though, so we should look up this cartouche.
Kalis. I don't know. You know, guys, you need to look up what her shirt is while we're talking. There.
Yeah, because I can't do it because if I do anything, I get kicked off StreamYard. So
I know. I'm wondering if I can really quick find.
I'll take a picture of it though for my notes.
Yeah, I was gonna actually. Let's see. Let me really quick. I got an alphabet up from Google. See if I can figure it out really quickly. The eye of Horus looks like an R. The feather that is going, I see two feathers on the dictionary thing. I don't see a feather going the other way. Maybe an S, either that or part of that's wrong. But I would say the I is an R. So R something. Yeah, see the ones I'm seeing are going other directions. I see a foot going the wrong direction. Let me try this one real quick. Maybe this one's a little bit better. Yeah, this one might be better. Okay, we have an R for the I. We have a feather going to the left for E. So RE. We have a foot that's a B. So for REB. Another feather, I don't know if the color matters. REBE. Oh, interesting. Okay, so far it should, from what I can tell, it says REBEKK, and then it looks like a bird. M. I thought it was going to say Rebecca, and I was like, what? But that's not cliche. I don't know. Either that.
And so it says Rebecca.
I don't know. It kind of says Rebecca, but truthfully, that alphabet was different than the other one I pulled out on Google, so I don't know how accurate they are. So I'm just going to say who knows. It was so obvious that she was up to something. How can the secret operative be so stupid? You mean at the bar? Yes, I agree. But she's actually like 48. I mean, the actress? I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know.
But sometimes that happens.
Order at any rate. But so he is introducing him to. She is introducing him to everybody, and she kisses him again. I didn't get a picture that time. And she says that it's not true love. It's not true love, but it might be a favor. I don't know if she means that she'll do something. If he can do something for her because she kissed him. I don't know what that was supposed to mean. But this is where she says she was in quarantine. She didn't get no shots for dots. So I guess she was in there longer than other people were. And she's like, maybe I'm still contagious and can keep you in the front half. So did
they bring her in there accidentally with chicken pox?
I don't know, because you're right. She pretty much would have had to have him when she got there. So I do not know. She said I think she'd been there for only 2 weeks. So yeah, maybe. I don't know. So George and Iris there, they ask if he's TK negative or positive. Positive means they can control it. And they always bet on it. Which because TK negative is the most common, which is what Luke is. And apparently George is, I'm not sure if George was TK positive or he's just positive now because they've been experimenting or whatever. I'm not sure. But he says it's rare. He knocks over the water glass, shows him he can float the water. So yeah, he can control it. But that's where he says that's about the most he can do. And they can move things like 8 pounds or something. The water yellow.
So I say TK is kind of pointless.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I got the opinion, he was saying because they only have that much time to develop it. Like maybe over lifetime they could do more. I don't know.
I'm just saying, tipping over a glass of water, I could do it with my own hand.
Yeah, very true, very true. But either way, the janitor makes him stop and clean it up, and then Nikki comes in. Who is Nikki? There's Nikki. And he says that, I think he was talking about George. He said that he's our Agent Mulder. He wants to believe. So I like that. But Iris asks about his hand. And that's where he says, oh, I fell. He asks about tokens. He wants their tokens. He doesn't seem like he's a bad guy. Like he's the bully. But yet they all give him their tokens. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Yeah, they all give him all their tokens because he wants cigarettes and shit. So, yeah, he asks for their tokens, and he does get something for, I think, he gets candy cigarettes for Kalisha, and I think he asks Luke if he wants anything. But he asks, when they're there, he does ask Ellis about playing chess, because he said the one that was there in the back half left already that would have played with him. And wait, before we go to her, they do make
put chess down on your firm scorecards.
Put what?
Chess.
Oh, chess, yeah. They do make a point of saying about how they're allowed to have whatever they want. The stuff the grown-ups denied them, like booze.
Like chess.
Like chess. But no, like booze, cigarettes, that kind of thing. But only like, light liquor. They only get like wine coolers, so not heavy liquor, I guess. But anyway, he asked how old the kids coming there were, and they said that the oldest was 19, the youngest was 10. And I don't know if that'll be important or not. Then Michelle is saying she has a story that she can give this woman who, like I said, was a journalist. And she says that their circulation's small, but she's, going to listen to her. And then she asks if she believes in hell, and she says yes, and she shoots her. I'm not sure that's his recruitment profile, That looks like that might be on the next kid. I'm not sure who that's supposed to be. It kind of looks like the one that's there, the little kid that shows
Oh,
up.
the one that's in the hallway, yeah.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. But she shoots her in the head, and there she is. She's dead.
Yep.
So, when's the last time anyone drank a wine cooler? I don't know. I mean, don't teens drink wine coolers still? I think it's not that much alcohol. I don't know. I didn't know it was. Yes,
Yeah,
I know.
because it's usually what they do first is sneak out one of Dad's wine coolers or get some person to go buy it for them.
I didn't know it was like a time thing. I thought it was just like that's what you did as a teenager. I mean, yes, I drank.
Yeah, but that kind of feels like this all kind of feels late 90s.
No, but yeah, you're right. I mean, when I drank a wine cooler, it was probably like 90s or 80s too. But I didn't think about it that way. I just assumed it was because I was a teenager, not because they drink seltzers.
Because you want something that tastes like fruit and not horrible.
Would have been better than wine coolers. I never liked wine coolers. I mean, I drank them, but I didn't like them. But anyway, that journalist Kate, she calls Stackhouse and says that she needs cleanup. So she's obviously on their side. Now, this is, let's see. I'm missing stuff. Hold on. This is I need a cleaning crew. Okay, so Sigsby. Okay, no, that's fine, Karen. She says they don't drink wine coolers. She knows because she does bartend. I don't know. I just know the only thing I had like that I remember having like that was a wine cooler. But you're right, it could be because it was like in the early 90s. It would have been in the 90s, not 80s, because I would have been 8 at the end of the.
Is this around Zima? When you have a Zima?
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember I never really liked wine coolers. They gave me gas, and I never really liked them, to be honest. Not that anybody need to know that, but I'm just saying they did. They're like bubbly. I didn't like the bubbles. The salt. What do you call it? The
effervescence.
No, yeah, the carbonation. Yeah. Okay, so this I did take a picture of because I wanted to comment on this because I had one thought as soon as I watched this scene. I thought up until this point that Sigsby was supposed to be the head of the place.
Mm-hmm.
They are checking her bag to see what's in it. If she was the boss, they wouldn't be checking her stuff. Mm-hmm. So I thought at this point, she clearly has a boss. And that tells me she's not the one in charge. That was what that immediately told me. Mm-hmm. Do people still call them wine coolers? I don't know. I don't know what they're called beyond that, Doc. Not you don't have to scare, but I guess
I don't know. They have like those seltzers, all sorts of alcoholic seltzers. It's more fancy, I guess.
I don't know.
Bunch of cocktails and little cans.
Yeah, mocktails and things. I don't know. I just assumed they still had them. I don't drink them. So
Probably just in a can instead of a bottle.
Yeah, they probably are in a can. You're probably right. So she goes home, and meanwhile, the boss has to go by the rules too. But I agree, she has a boss. Whoops, I didn't click it up. I don't know. You're right. They have to go by rules, but I feel like you wouldn't be searched. Like if you're the boss, like the big boss, like I feel like they wouldn't search your stuff and not trust you. Not if you ran the company. So I don't know. That was my initial thought. I mean, we know that she's answering to somebody because we hear her later talking to him. That was what I thought at the time. Okay, so this is where I think where they're going to play chess. He goes out. Yeah, he goes outside and plays chess with Nikki there.
Nikki, yeah.
If your underlings see you not going by the rules, you lose control. That's a good point. I do think that I should have apologies. I should have gone to a couple of comments we had earlier I forgot about, and I apologize. Justin had said this is about, we're obviously past Wendy. That's why I should have went to before. Cute off of fame, but will that help or hurt her in the long run? I don't know. I think that Tim's a good guy, and I think that it will be beneficial if she, gets on board with him. Beyond that, I don't know. Just Me had said, I'm curious to know more about the older crazy lady, Annie. Yes, I like Annie. I am also interested in that. Okay, I think that was the only ones I skipped. Sorry, guys. I thought I had gone back through the chat, and I clearly didn't. I didn't mean to skip those. But those are those. Okay. And, oh, there, Lori. I missed this one, too. Says, I didn't like to see the kids get hit by that sadist. Tony is an asshole and a sadist. I agree. And that was very not cool. Okay, whoops. We're not to that yet. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. So they're going to play chess. And I guess we are to that now. They go back and forth. There's her record player again.
And Werewolves of London is playing.
Yeah, Werewolves of London. Yeah, kind of makes me wonder. I mean, doesn't mean it's in the past because she plays a record and
Shape-shifting.
Plays an old song. No, it doesn't.
Shapeshifters.
Shapeshifters. No, but listening to Werewolves of London, that's an older song, and using record player in conjunction with everything else.
But it's good. People love records. I have records, and I love Werewolves of London.
No, I do too. But I'm saying that could be an indication that it's not because she's not playing a CD. Is it necessarily? No, of course not. Like you said, people have records, so it doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Plus in the 90s, you get a nice stereo that has a CD player, a radio, and a record player all together.
Yeah, you can't get it easy
or two tape decks.
Yeah, definitely. So anyway, she's eating. Maybe they made it the time the book came out. Who knows? So she's eating hot dogs and ketchup. They're playing.
Yeah, but her oven looks kind of older too. More classic. What? The oven looks kind of older too.
Yeah, I guess it does. I hadn't really thought about it. Let's see.
Yeah, electric burners.
Yeah, kind of. So they're playing chess, and then we see her. She takes I don't know what it was, the tool she had on the oven, and she burns her leg with it. Now,
did they personally line up the arrows of the sun for what she for herself?
Probably.
Because when she burns herself, she's like, oh.
I was trying to find. There's not another picture of her. I don't want to leave it on that. Just I don't know that it matters.
And then when she eats the sausage that's too hot, she's like, oh.
Yeah, she kind of was. Lori had said, "I'm curious about the boss who burns her leg and has office sex with a creepy coworker using a jump rope." Yeah. I agree, and she clearly is into pain, I guess.
Yeah. I thought I'd see more of that scene, which was really weird. I thought Robert Jody was gonna it was gonna get a little bit more graphic.
Yeah, I kind of wondered, and I don't know that he liked it, but I'm assuming might have been for her. I don't know, but yeah, I mean,
he's just gonna jump rope while she takes her clothes off. And he's like, "Oh, that was good for me. Let's go."
Mm-hmm. Could she be releasing pain? She's depressed or whatever. I don't know. I took it. It definitely seemed like she was getting some kind of pleasure from the pain.
Yeah, because she's like, oh.
Yeah.
And she was dancing around too, like she was enjoying herself.
Yeah, it was like she definitely seemed to be enjoying it a little too much. But either way, she burns her leg and clearly has done it before. She's got scars. Okay, then we go back to, and also Werewolves of London. What else? Is there any other lyrics in there that maybe have meaning? I don't know, because I don't think this show's about werewolves, but
Chow Mein, meeting the Queen, meeting Lon Chaney. I saw Lon Chaney Jr. walking with the Queen. His hair was perfect.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, Tim is still going around to the different places. And then meanwhile, Luke easily beats Nikki. Not that we had any doubt. And he talks about the way they play. And then he asks Luke how smart he is. And he says he needs to decide if he's who he's waiting for. Is he smart enough to know that they can't stay? Or like the others, is it that he can't accept what's really going on and just believes in the fairy tale? And he says something about growing up in the system. And so he knows not to believe stories and that no one's coming to rescue him and that they got to get themselves out of there. And so he's like, how do we get out of here? So yeah, he thinks that Luke may be the one that will help them escape because the other ones are kind of we can just wait it out and we'll get out type of thing because they are believing the lie. What we're assuming is a lie. We don't really know, but we're assuming that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the same chessboard in the intro? I believe so. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
Pictures in the intro, but I think so. I think, to be honest, I think all the clips in the intro are from the show, having seen it.
They
But
probably just took the props from the show and just made an intro.
yeah, I think they're just clips or whatever from the show.
Yeah.
Do they have special meaning, or is there a reason why they're in the opening other than like a little preview? I don't know. But yes, I believe it is. I could be wrong, but I believe it is. So yeah, is he going to be able to help him get out is the question. So, and that is the end of episode
You would
1.
think that like when they take those out, they're gonna have a scar, so a kid wakes up and doesn't remember anything, but has a big scar on his or her ear.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that would not make me be really confident that they're getting out. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me get this one open here. I'm going to switch this now. I do not have a bunch of photos for this. I'm telling you now, I do
Well,
not.
that's fine.
So
We're
some
at
of
the
this,
2-hour mark almost, Jamie. So
yeah, I know. Well, we've only gone through the first episode, but
yeah.
we'll just kind of move through. Is there anything else though before we go on, like about the first episode? I think in ways of, you know, like an introduction to the characters, I think it was okay. I do think they kind of needed the second one a little bit, maybe.
The
Yeah.
use of Tears for Fears shout in the beginning has any significance? Let it all out.
Yeah, but it was a different singer. It was the Lumineers.
Oh, it is Illustrious. I didn't know who did it. I knew it wasn't Tears
Yeah.
for Fears that was doing that. So
Well, yeah, they have it too, but no, it's
yeah.
Lumineers. It rhymes. Tears for Fears and Lumineers.
Yeah. Put down your scorecard.
I don't know. You talk about Tears for Fears. It makes me think of Donnie Darko. That's something we need to do. A watch party on Donnie Darko. I missed that.
Oh, sure. I'd be in. Director's cut, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let me close the other picture. Okay.
Yeah, I met the guy who directed that because they had a showing in San Diego, and the guy Robert Kelly, I think it's Robert Kelly, was there. It was cool. Right. Show the director's cut because the director's cut had just come out, and he was proud of it.
Makes the movie mean completely different. I remember that, like, completely different result when you watch it, the director's cut.
Yeah.
I think I can't remember for sure, but I want to say I think I like the director's cut better, but I don't remember for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So Luke is dreaming and he remembers Michelle a tiny bit. Not that that's super important. And then we have Sigsbee waking him up for this party. That there was a banner that for some reason was in the other folder of photos that I had earlier.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
This kind of reminds me of like Severance's melon parties.
Kind of does, yeah. It's like a very, and I do think it's inventizing because they do kind of aren't really, well, granted, some of them might be young enough for that, but some of them are a little older. But I don't know. I mean, they're like 14. I don't know.
I don't think there's a teen in this world that would give up having cake for breakfast, though, because he was like, the one guy was like, "Oh, I don't do frosting for breakfast." I'm like, most teenagers would take a piece of cake for breakfast.
I like cake, but 8 in the morning. I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
anytime.
I mean, I know I've eaten cake at breakfast, and like I said when I said it in Discord, I mean, I was in college. I wouldn't necessarily do it now, but I remember eating cake for breakfast.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it was good. It's like when you eat pizza for breakfast. Not that people don't older eat pizza for breakfast too, but like not per se as often as you do like in college when you eat chicken or pizza for breakfast. So yeah, I don't know. I'd be fine with cake. I would be okay though. I think with cake, I'm a big cake person. I love cake.
The cake's great.
Yeah. So
anyway. Yeah, because you watched that Duff show, the cake show.
Well, yes, but I mean, I also like to eat cake, not just cake designs. I like cake as a food.
Well, I like both of those things.
I should say as a dessert.
And as a breakfast food.
And as a breakfast food, yeah. So anyway, they are telling her that she is going home, which I don't know that I believe that shit.
That just seems kind of creepy.
It does. And she asked if she should make a wish, and she says yes. And she says, "I wish you got my age right. It's only 13 candles." And that's when she says, "No, it's for 13 days in front half, and now you're on your way out of here." Iris is very upset, and they're also singing "Goodbye to Front Half." That's their happy birthday song is "Goodbye to Front Half." So yeah, it's creepy, but Iris is upset. Yeah, I doubt she's going home, Karen. I would agree with that. I don't think she is either, but we don't know that.
Yeah.
But I would kind of guess she's not. Jim Morrison had a cake for breakfast. Well, then he's smart.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Luke is questioning about it. Well, meanwhile, Iris is upset that she's leaving. I think for good reason. Nikki's trying to help her. Uh, Kalisha talks to Luke. It's his first day of test, so she's like, "Eat the icing. You need the sugar. It'll make you feel better." But doesn't explain it. She does ask him that Nikki says he's going to find a way to help him, and he's like, "No, I'm going to help all of us." And then Maureen comes to get Iris, and she says goodbye to everybody, and then she leaves down the creepy ass hallway, which does not is not good. There is a conversation.
And she has
also,
bears on her shirt. She has
Yeah.
bears on her shirt. Mark
She
that down your
does.
scorecard, everyone. Bears.
They're fun. Bears. They're bars. I just wanted to comment here because I don't have a picture for it, but Kalisha does say that Iris likes Nikki, and she's like,
Oh,
she tries
her
to
name could be a variant of Kalisha, because it does mean bear.
Well, yeah, but her name's Iris. It's the other one's name is Kalisha.
I'm just saying. I was just saying a general observation of Kalisha as a name.
Oh, okay. Anyway, Iris, it is a childish shirt. I agree, Karen.
Yeah.
But who knows what clothes they brought? But anyway, actually, yeah, because I was gonna say Kalisha kind of has on like dungarees, like not many. I mean, older people wear them too.
Hopefully, they're not doing a colony house thing where they just have a room of the old kids' clothing when they, brought them home by taking them out in the back and maybe shooting them, and then just taking the clothes.
Yeah.
And putting them in a room for people to use.
Yeah. Anyway, she does say that she knew Iris liked Nikki, and she said she tries to hide it from her, but she could see it on her face. Like, she could also tell because she was psychic. That was like a dumb statement, I thought. You said that.
I could tell.
Yeah, I can see it on your face. It's like, no, you can see it in my head. But anyway, Luke asks her if she's with Nikki, and he said he wasn't sure, and she said, "Guess that makes two of us." So yeah, obviously Kalisha seems to like Nikki too, but are they together? I mean, she's like, I only knew him 2 weeks, but she sure acts like they're together. So I don't know. It's a bit weird. But anyway, Iris is like, I'll see you guys in a few days, trying to, stay calm. Tony makes a comment about Luke getting tests, and somebody in Discord, I don't remember who, so I'm sorry I'm not giving you credit, but somebody in Discord said something about that when Tony comes on, the music changes, and I did not notice that. I did not have time to go back. But yeah, Iris leaves, and Nikki says we'll see her no more.
Yeah.
So then we have Norbert asking Tim to help him with the iguana, whose name is Bedelia. Okay, you said that. Jen said that. Okay. Jen said that. Okay, well, Jen was smart and said that. I didn't hear that, the music changing, so that's cool you picked up on that. And you are right, Karen. Teen romance 2 weeks is forever. They could be deeply in love.
Yeah.
Not wrong. So at least she is like, it's only been 2 weeks, so maybe she don't think that way anyway. And Lori is saying werewolf could be for her wildness. That's a good point too. That makes sense. Yeah, it could represent that. Either way, the song was cool when they played it. I definitely liked it. So yeah, the guy that I'm gonna keep calling Pendrell because I forget his name. If I call him Pendrell, that's why.
I call him Reptile Guy, so there you go.
Yeah. He's talking about the iguana. At least I think it's iguana, some kind of lizard, and talks about how, he made a comment, and I wanted to, where the hell is my air conditioner control? I'm freezing now. And I said it somewhere, and I'm like, where did I set it? And I got to figure out where I said it. Hold on. There it is.
Use your telekinesis.
Yeah, again, that would be cool. I could do that. It would be awesome. Oh, okay. So he's saying that maybe people will feel safer because there's a cop living there. But he also says about it'll cut back on business and parties there. And then he makes some comment about somebody who used to party. And I think he's talking about Wendy, but I was not entirely sure. So, I'm curious if anybody heard more about that. He said that somebody used to go to those parties. I really thought he meant Wendy, because then he started saying that she was calling and wanted him to call the station, but he wouldn't disturb him because he had the do not disturb sign out. It's a bearded dragon. Is it? I don't know. I just
It's
said
a bearded dragon.
Is it? Okay, cool. Yeah, it does look like a bearded dragon. Okay.
Yeah, iguanas are really big.
Yeah, either way, it's cute. Okay. So yeah, he's holding the dragon there. So she wants him to call her. There she is, Delia. And I didn't get tons of details about this, but basically there's convenience stores that are being robbed and they think they're going to come that way. And he's like, you called me to warn me for that? And she actually called him there because they wanted to see if he wanted to carry a gun, which for, reasons he doesn't want to. He doesn't own one. But she says, okay, well, then if anything goes down, it's your job to call it in, only that. So they're saying you're not allowed to do something like that. And he starts asking about where can I get oat milk lattes? And he's like just being sarcastic, big city cop joke. I like that. And she says that he doesn't have a weapon, so just to be careful. And he says, it's no match for my wit and charm. But she does tell him about the diner that has apparently good coffee. I laughed when it clung to his shirt and he had to act through it. Yeah, it did seem like it liked him. Maybe it's his, who knows?
Well, everybody likes Ben Barnes, including animals.
Everybody likes Ben Barnes. But I mean, seriously, like for all we know, that could be his pet. We really don't know. It could be. Okay, I was going to look. Okay. So now we go to, I took a picture of the, when he calls her ma'am and she says, call her officer.
That is an interesting phone.
Yeah, that is definitely an old style phone. Reminded me of the intercom in Severance. Definitely does not look like something we'd have now. Although, something interesting I did want to mention. Do you notice how, and I noticed this before, but they must have corded phones in other countries and we just don't anymore. Because I don't
Some
think
people have corded phones. Businesses have corded phones.
But can you buy them? You never see them in the store.
Yeah, you can buy them. You can buy them.
Okay, I didn't think you could. I didn't know.
A lot of businesses have them still.
Okay, because the last time I went to look for phones, it was all handhelds. That's why I wondered. Not cell phones, but I mean it was all.
We have phones in the school that are lines.
Well, but it's at school. It's at the school, not like a personal phone.
Well, this is a business.
No, yes,
this
I know.
This is someone's house.
Okay, but what I was getting at is I wonder if they use them more prevalently in the other countries, because I noticed how on some of the British shows, people have corded phones on their walls, like a personal phone, and I think that's odd because we don't you don't see that here. I'm not saying you can't, but you don't see it very often.
Well,
yeah,
a lot of people have them for safety reasons. So maybe that's more in Europe. They're just having they have their own personal phone, but they have a landline for in case things go down.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea not to only have a cordless phone, because if the electric goes out, you lose the cordless phone. So the phone's recorded in the hotel. Yeah, but that's again though, it's a business. I didn't think people had them in their house. I just didn't think, but you do see it in British shows. I don't know. Maybe they just don't. The people I know don't have one. I don't know. But anyway, this guy is talking about the team leader. They're talking about the ones that snatched the kids. Go back to this because you can't tell what that is anyway. They're talking about wanting to vet more people because they lost that Michelle because she shot her. And she wants more people. Sigsbee wants more people to work for them. And she wants to be able to kidnap more kids. And this guy on the phone, who, like I said, I don't know why I took a picture of that, but is actually Jeff Fahey. You can tell by his voice.
Put prayer beads on your scorecard, everyone.
Prayer beads, there we go. He's saying,
and a horse, and a pony, and a pony. Put a pony on a scorecard.
Pony. He is saying that they're not getting anybody else, and asking kind of what's going on. Stackhouse says they've beefed up security, and he's kind of throwing Sigsbee under the bus. He's saying about the reporter what he did, and he agrees that they can hire the reporter to be another snatcher since they have her already. They make a comment about there being more keyholes. They need more kids. We don't know what that means yet. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they need more snatchers too. And he says, should I say, tell whoever that the committee you're unable to handle the amount of targets? And she's like, no, 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 no. And that's when she says about the reporter. And Stackhouse says that he won't make it happen. And he also says, okay, let's see. She asks about him turning the reporter, and he says that reporter, that Kate had been working for him for 3 years in case something like this happened. And she says she appreciates his foresight, but not questioning her clearance. And that Stackhouse like, I threw him a bone. She's like, no, you threw me under the bus. And they kind of go back and forth a bit. And he admits that he doesn't think she would compromise the place, but not because he trusts her, but because he knows that she would know she'd be in deep shit if she fucked it up too, basically, is what he says. Yes, I'm calling them. Well, I don't think they called them snatchers. They called them snatch team. I'm calling them snatchers. Yes, like Harry Potter. I hadn't even thought about that, but I'm calling them snatchers. Snatches. So yeah, clearly Sigsbee and Stackhouse, they don't like each other. They have a lot of issues with each other and do not get along. They're both always trying to undermine each other. And I wish they would have shown, she has those, I can't think what they're called, something when, at least that's what it looks like, those metal Chinese balls. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, those exercise balls that you put in your hand and you circulate them.
That's what that looks like. They always come in a case like that.
Yeah.
I had ones, but they were in a red case.
Yeah, they have yin yang.
Mine came from China though. The guy my dad knows, his friend was over in China and brought us all back something, and he brought me the whatever they're called, wind balls. Cool, I like them. They're neat. They're somewhere, I have them somewhere put away, but they're cool. Yeah. So yeah, so he's taking him in to do the test, and Luke there is like, I can save you some time. I can't do it on demand. You need something. And he's like, well, then we'll just get something to activate it. So like clearly he's intending to doing something nasty to get it to work. And he says not to say can't. That's a beta word.
God.
That was dude, Tony's so fucking amazing.
Gotta be an alpha, man.
Yeah, you have to be an alpha. So he won't tell Luke what's in the shot because he's like, you're going to get it anyway. I can see him wanting to know. It doesn't hurt him to tell him.
Yeah.
I mean, what if he says, like, I'm allergic to that and you're going to kill me? You're not intending to kill me.
Yeah. Like, you make it home and you got to break a couple eggs.
Yeah, I know. So he tries to break Dr. Hendricks because he's like, are you a doctor, a real doctor? And he starts talking about the Hippocratic Oath. And I thought that what he said was kind of interesting, that do no harm, that even all surgery is harm. It's just harm in the service of a greater good. So that's his reasoning, I guess, that they can do what they're doing. And they're injecting him with something to see if he sees the dots. They don't think he'll see them yet, but he wants to get a baseline, and they want him to move the tray that's in front of him. Stress balls, yes. It's therefore. So
it looks like a halo around his head.
It does, and he clearly doesn't deserve one. So then we go back to Annie, and this is where she is trying to tell, her name is Zoe Sloan, that she needs to know the truth, and her daughter would want her to know the truth. She's trying to warn her. And we find out later what that's about. That cop, Drew, I don't think I have a picture of Drew here, but no, that's too far. Drew comes up and kind of says, the chief said you can't do this, you can't harass her. And Tim tries to help her out. He's like, I'll take you to breakfast. He's kind of trying to calm her down because we find out later his mother had Alzheimer's and he kind of knows a little bit how to deal with it. But she tells him, I'll know that, because she says everybody could be in on it, even the chief. He's like, even me? And she's like, well, you're new here, but you'll learn. So yeah, they're going to take her to the station. Tim talks him out of it. But yeah, she's to stay away from that woman. This is where she says, careful with him. They look and sound just like us too, except for the pinky toes. They're been all funny. Yeah. And that's where I was joking in Discord. I'm like, they look just like us. They sound just like us. Maybe they're the creatures from.
Well, you got to look at people's pinky toes.
Yeah, we haven't seen their toes, so we don't know. It could be Smiley, right? Yeah. We don't know. Yeah. But either way, she I think, and I'm curious, and for people in the chat, what do you think about Annie? I do want to know more about her. I feel like some of the stuff she says is on point, and I think other stuff maybe she is a little out of it, like thinking that they're aliens. And well, I mean, not to say there couldn't be aliens, but I don't think this show's about aliens. So like, you know, people things that look like human that have creepy toes. Like, I don't think that is probably real. She's probably imagining that, but some of the other stuff maybe not. So I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think, Scarlet?
It depends what she's listening to on those podcasts.
It depends what yes, it does. I guess it does. But anyway, let us know. Let us know in the chat what you think about Annie. If you believe some of what she says, or all of what she's saying, or none of what she's saying. But yeah, she wants to harass. Sorry, Zoe's the name of the daughter. I think she was harassing Zoe.
Her mom.
So back to this, they clearly have a heart monitor on him, but they're trying to get him to manifest TK. He's trying. He's like really upset because he's like, I'm trying. I'm honestly trying. And Hendrix tells him to give him a boost, so that's when he gives him a shot.
You would think he was trying to aim that thing at Tony's head, because that's what I would be doing when I was thinking at it.
I know, right? I definitely would be trying to hit him.
That guy right in the face.
Yeah. Hendrix says to let him know if he sees dots, because it's for his own safety, and to keep your teeth clenched so you don't bite off your tongue. Like, really? Couldn't have given him something for that? And he does float the tray for a second and slams the chair down, but that's all he's able to do. And Tony's like, I knew you could do it, see? And then he throws up. And,
yeah, I like that the woman brought the bag over, but he didn't quite hit it.
No, I know. So somebody had to take care of it. I'm not sure that she was part of an OG experiment group at the Institute. They're going with it. She was part of an experiment. I think she could be. I said earlier, I do think maybe she used to be one of the kids and it messed her up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think some of the stuff she's saying is definitely off base. I don't think it's all legit. She has similar powers that allow her to sense the kids nearby the Institute doesn't know about her. That could be true too. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to see more of Annie. Either way, I like Annie. Yeah, he threw up on his shoes. Well, that was what Nikki said later, that he threw up on his chucks. Yeah. Instead of stabbing Hendrix in the balls like he wanted to, which would have been
when they told him he might throw up afterwards and give him the bag beforehand.
Yeah, that would be the smart thing. They've clearly had this happen before, and they don't. So anyway, so I lost where I was at. So Maureen gives him some spearmint gum. She seems to be nice, trying to help out a little bit, make him feel better. And she's like, you'll see the dots and then you'll feel better. Yeah, I don't know what the hell the dots are about. That is such a weird way to describe something, but they'll feel better when they see the dots. Mm-hmm. She's like, go eat something. And then that poster says, it's your time to shine, which I don't have a picture of the poster, but that is what it says. So yeah. So this is where Nikki says he's like, the first time I ripped the needle out with my teeth and shoved it in Hendrix's balls. And he's like, not really, but I wanted to, and I might still, but then I barfed on my chucks. Why Hendrix? I would have totally shoved it in Tony. Forget Hendrix. Tony's the asshole. And I mean, not that Hendrix is good, but Tony's not good either. Yeah. Jen says maybe they used an original mind erasing drug that didn't last as long as the one they use now. Ooh, I like that. That's cool. Karen says, I love we have at least 2 theories. Annie is one part of the show that is less obvious. Yeah. So I said there's definitely some things that are like mystery in this show, just it's not puzzle box, that's all. And Creature agrees maybe it didn't last as long or wasn't as effective. And yeah, Jen agrees, Tony, not Hendrix. You stabbed Tony. That's what I think. Oh, jeez. I'm getting such a stomach ache. I wish I knew what I ate. It did not agree with my stomach. It did not like me, whatever it was.
Were you submitted to having to move stuff with your mind, Jamie?
Yeah, maybe. Honestly, hurts. I had some wings earlier, and I thought they looked like they were undercooked. Some of them were kind of pink. I wonder, and I'm hoping that they were cooked all the way, and that isn't why my stomach's starting to hurt, because I don't want to have something,
You had to report that stuff to iwaspoisoned.com like I do.
You could do that. Well, I don't think
it's just a list of restaurants and places where people have had bad experiences with undercooked food or over expired food and stuff like that.
I see. No, I I don't know. Usually their food's good and it's fine, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It seemed to me like it tasted undercooked too. You know what? Speaking of, I have a just reminded me when you say that. When we went to they should have known better than this. When we went to my college, they had like a when you first went to the college, they had, I can't remember what they called it. It's where I told you before, I rode in that hot air balloon and I made like a wax mold in my hand. They have like a whole bunch of shit going on for like the new people getting into college, like I forget what they called it, but it's basically to welcome
Like a
all the new
fair?
students.
Like a
Kind of.
welcome
It's
fair
to
or something?
welcome the new students. And it's as
Yeah.
it's supposed to be, it's like before school starts, it's when everybody moves into the dorms, okay?
Yeah.
So yeah, bad wings. I hope not. So anyway, my parents were over because I was moving into the dorm.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of food and it was hot out. And apparently the people there, they're idiots, don't know what they're doing. They had, because we realized after we kind of wondered, they like when they were making the hamburgers, like they were leaving them out and then like giving them to people. And I think they weren't hot enough. My mom got so sick. I mean, talk about
Yeah.
food poisoning. That was really, really bad.
Mhm.
Orientation. Yes, it was orientation. I think it was.
Orientation.
I feel like there was another word with it too. It was like something orientation, but yes, it was
Yeah.
technically orientation. They had a whole bunch of things. I think the hot air balloon ride though was that,
Yeah,
and they
sweet. I didn't get anything from mine.
it is well that was there with that, and the other really cool thing they had is they had those little 3D laser and etched cubes. Like they made
Yeah.
like a 3D scan of your head, and it was like I have like a laser etched 3D photo of
So
myself.
it's
in
kind
the
of like a
laser.
severance gift.
Yes, exactly like that. That is what it is.
Wow.
It's my
Was that a private college? Because my public college didn't give me jack shit.
no, it wasn't a private college. It's the state college. So yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
I'll have to bring it on sometime. I didn't even think of severance. But yeah, I mean it wasn't like huge, but yeah, I think what it is I think like different businesses donate it. Like I think it was from
Yeah,
like
that might be it.
a local engraver or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was why. But it was
Yeah.
cool. It was fun. Let's see. I so want Tony to be TK'd. He was written to be hated though, so it's probably going to happen in some form. Remember everyone hating Jim. Poor Jim. Poor Jim.
There's gonna be Tony redemption arc.
Yeah, there'll be a Tony redemption arc. You're probably right. Just stripped out part for audience joy. Maybe. You got a coffee mug. Well, I'm sorry. Hey, I don't. I mean,
And it's a private college, Karen. Yeah. It's in Pennsylvania. Do Pennsylvania colleges do better?
It wasn't in Pennsylvania. It was Ohio. Not that I wanted everybody.
Like even Ohio.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a cool orientation. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what else we had? I don't know. See, they must have like had a lot of people doing things because we also had there was like this trailer and you went in and you sat down and they had like it. I don't know how the hell they did it. It must have been like a mobile thing for a fair. You know, like those movies that you watch and like the whole like place shakes, like the whole thing.
Oh yeah, like a 4D experience.
Yeah, like it's on pistons and the room moves
Yeah.
around as you watch movies. There was one of those too. There was all kinds of things. It was fun. That was fun. You could.
So
I think you
jealous.
could only go. I feel like you could only go when you were a freshman because I vaguely remember wanting to go like the next year and you couldn't. It was like a freshman only thing.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Karen says the kids will kill that guy with their minds. That'd be cool.
Yeah, maybe. Give them mind scramblies, the brain scramblies.
I wouldn't be surprised. Went to a baseball game in a dance club. Well, it's still something. I don't know. That's something that stuck out for me is that hello, baby Clay. Welcome. It's nice when we get a new person, a new viewer. Welcome. So let's see. I lost where I was at. Okay, so yeah, he barfed. He said that he stabbed him, but he should have stabbed Tony. So then we have
my favorite scene.
Yeah. Now before this, I clearly missed a scene here with pictures. George comes out and Kalicia's helping him in, and they say that he had the Dreambox final test in the front half, and they think that he's going to be leaving the front half any day now. And whenever Luke asks what it is, he said that I think he said Kalisha told him. I don't know. Somebody told him that it drags up all kinds of shit from your subconscious. It's like a personal horror movie, and you have to turn on the lights to make it stop. So yeah, it's going to be ready for the back half. And then we go to this, which is in the storage room. I wish I would have had more time to take more pictures of the storage room.
Yeah, like that dollhouse that said hell on it was interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what did the house say? I was trying to see. There's a lot of neon things. That game says junkyard. I can read. I like the neon sign. I wondered, is there something in Stephen King with a teddy bear?
Another bear, everyone put it on your scorecard.
Another bear. That is another bear.
Yeah.
There's an. It looks like one of the. It's not an etch a sketch. It's one of the boards you draw on though. It's kind of an etch a sketch.
These are all the things the kids left behind once they made them go home.
Yeah, and they are like games that look like they're kind of from the 80s or whatever. I see Boyce, Rescuers, I'm trying to read Stratego. That's
I love Stratego. It was my favorite game when I was a kid.
Well, that's from X-Files too. Mad TV, Tahiti.
Oh, I love Mad TV game. I mean, Mad game was great.
I didn't know that.
Dealer's Choice. I just saw that game at like the board game store I was at. They have a bunch of old board games for sale.
Yeah, I don't know, something gold. I was curious if I could read some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do look like they're stuff from like the 80s or whatever, but if they are stuff they left behind, that could technically be why. So that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Turn on the lights like Fringe. Yeah, I forgot about that. You're right. I totally forgot about that. I miss Fringe. The storage room was full of kids' stuff. I thought maybe it was left over from all the kids who passed through. Probably. They better have Risk. Yeah, they have to have Risk.
Risk.
We have Risk somewhere.
I have Risk.
I got a Harry Potter Risk. I never played it. I'd like to play it someday. It's still sitting in our basement. Just like I have an X-File game. I never. Operation. I opened and never played.
Operation's a good one. Metaphor for what they do to kids.
Yeah, the Operation I could see. I don't see Operation though. I'm missing. I'm sure it's there. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
All right. So now you said that said hell. It says hate, doesn't it? It looks like it's a scary.
On the other side. I thought
that's
on the other side. I thought on the other side when she moved it said hell on the dresser.
Maybe. I'm thinking it's since it says hats and there's a picture. This price is scarves and there's a picture. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, mittens. So yeah, I think that's. I don't know that. I don't know. I don't see hell. But anyway, so she is going in there. Is that Atari? I don't know. So she is going in there to meet up with Hendrix, and I lost where I was at here. So yeah, they're going in there to have sex. Stuff I have written down. The stuff there reminded me of the scene when she was hugging the bear. Reminded me of Labyrinth. I don't know if you've seen Labyrinth, but the female, I don't know what they are, creature that's got a hump and like takes everything with it, and it's like hugging a bear. I don't know. It reminded me of that scene. If you've seen Labyrinth, you might know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, you do know what I'm talking about. I always like that.
Talking about.
Whenever she's giving her like all the toys and stuff, she's like,
yeah.
Well, that's what it reminded me of for some reason. So anyway, so she's going there to have sex. Oh, there's also so she's going there to have sex with Hendrix. Sorry, I lost track of his name. I was like, Hendrix. Asked him if he took his pill, and he's like, "Can't you tell?" I don't want to look at it. Like, why are they having sex if she dislikes him that bad?
Just put the jump rope around my neck and shut up.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm kind of wondering, because he's like, "Do you have the jump rope?" Like, I'm guessing since the scene we got in the first episode, I'm gonna guess the jump rope was for her. Could be wrong, but yeah.
Tear her up to one of these with it.
Probably, but I don't know if she hates him so much. Why the hell was she even having sex with him? Unless maybe that's part of it. Maybe she's
some hate sex.
Dominant. I don't know, but yes, it was very disturbing. I agree. It was ew. It was ew. It was disturbing.
Well, they cut it off before I thought they were going to.
Yeah, we didn't have to see anything. I don't know, and I do want to, after when we get to later, ask. I wondered if it was supposed to be that they were living together, because he was going past, or was going to, I'm not sure which, the house that she was in, looking out the window. So I'm not sure if she likes harming herself. Yeah, maybe that's part of her self-harm, is having sex with creeps. I don't know. She has needs. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree, Jen. Though, I think, and I forget who it was that told me, the only thing is I think that she is, though, a lot older than she looks, too, though. So he's probably, because I don't know, I didn't think he was her age, but I think she's a lot older than she looks, a lot younger than she is, and he probably is her age. So
Well,
glad my
that might
daughter-
be part of it too, though.
Yeah, maybe she's using him for info or influence. I don't know. I kind of wondered if it was something to do with the place, but I don't know. I really don't know. But ew, that's the point. Ew, that's all we have to know.
I
But
just think
yeah,
she has fetishes.
she does. So yeah, you know what, Karen, would you totally mind calling into StreamYard and helping? I know you guys won't have pictures, but maybe you could talk to Scarlet and you guys could do it for a couple minutes because I think I'm going to be sick in the bathroom. Like I'm not
Oh
just,
no, Jamie!
no, I'm serious. I think that
Oh
stuff was
God!
bad and I do not, yeah, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm trying to get through the end and I don't know if I'm going to get through the end. Maybe she can join for a couple minutes while I go in there. So
Right.
sorry. Don't want to be gross, but I'm like, oh, my stomach
And
is
I can't make pictures go, so I can only
no, you
talk
can't.
and
I
sing
know.
and get my bell.
No, but you guys can talk for a couple minutes because I don't want to just abandon you and I can't get to the end. I really can't even sit here for that long to get through the end. Yeah, the jump rope made me gonna puke. You're right. Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't know if it's gonna, let me see how I turn this off. Probably gonna have to turn off the overlay or whatever for a minute. I don't know. You might just randomly float when you come on. I'll wait to see how it loads. I'll wait till she comes in. There we go.
Sweet.
Yeah, actually, I can add you to stage without your voice. That'll work.
Without your voice.
No, her voice, I mean, can come through.
Yeah.
The only thing, I don't know if I can. I was gonna say, I think I can turn off my camera. Hold on, I gotta somehow turn off my camera. I don't know where I'm at. I'm in here somewhere. Can you hear us, Karen? You can hear us, can't you? Maybe not.
No, I hear you. I wasn't on
Okay,
stage.
there. I turned off my camera. Yeah, thank you. I don't want to abandon her and I can't make it to the end. I really gotta, yeah, so I do not feel so great, but I'll try to be back in a couple minutes. I'll text you if it's taking too long. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
The very thought of those two having sex made us all want to puke. Right?
Yep. It's actually ended this live stream, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. But so Jamie's not going to be able to click the pictures, but I think we're pretty close to the end of this episode anyway, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is when the two boys talk about like how maybe they could escape.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that's left.
Yeah, I think so.
Which I guess, I mean, there's only 8 episodes, so at episode 2, we're 25% through. It is time.
Yeah. There's only 8 episodes.
Only 8, I think. I asked in the
Wow.
Discord, and I think it was Jen looked it up and said they were only 8.
So it's pretty short.
Yeah, so it's the right time for the kids. I mean, look, a kid like, what is this kid's name? Lucas? Is that his name? I'm so bad, Scarlet, with character
Luke,
names.
yeah.
That's why I give them all names.
Okay.
I give them all fake names.
Well, I call the one guy Reptile Guy because he had a bearded dragon. So.
Yep, because who knows what his name is. But this kid, Lucas, obviously is going to want to be trying to escape. He's not a kid who's going to be like passive or scared or try to go along to get along. Is that the saying? I mean, I think he's obviously a kid who's going to be like, what do you think about Nikki, though? I think maybe Nikki is a, I don't know about Nikki.
Like a spy?
Yeah, or just not to be trusted, maybe. I don't know. I feel like maybe sometimes in Stephen King, look, I'm not a student of Stephen King.
Yeah.
I don't read the books. I have watched, a bunch of movies, and I feel like, sorry, my computer just went crazy. I feel like sometimes the strong, bullyish kind of character sometimes has another motive. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, it would be more of a plot line if he thought he was like Luke could trust him, and then it was double cross.
I mean, yeah, Nikki would certainly be a kid maybe who's out for himself, which maybe, look, if I was trapped in there, I might be out for myself also, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like,
or they might be offering him a whole bunch of tokens.
Yeah. all those tokens, which can add up to a lot of sodas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I forgot at the end of this episode, there's also where they find that child in the hallway.
Oh yeah, and it's also where they see the smoke, right? So I'm gonna that. What if the smoke seen was the bodies of the graduates being cremated? I kind of thought the same thing. Did you think that right away?
Yeah, I was having a feeling something nefarious was going on. You know, they're all going home, as they say, going home.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because one thing that surprises me about this show is like really the small number of kids that are in at least the front half. There's only 4 kids there, right? And one goes out and one comes in. There's still 4 kids. And that is way too much smoke to just be burning poor Iris's little body, right?
You mark 4 in your scorecard, everyone.
Yeah, whatever's going on over there, there's a lot of smoke coming out of there. There could be maybe a lot of kids, like maybe like weeks and months and years of kids go to the back half and never get to leave there.
Or there could be multiple front halves and back halves too. We don't know how big this place is.
Oh yeah, just because they're in their one little ward with the 4 of them doesn't mean there's not like multiple.
Kind of like in Severance, where they're in a little cubicle with 4 people, but there's other things going on.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a good idea. You know, like a crematorium or some hardcore training and experiments. I mean, that's kind of a big question. Like, these kids seem to have pretty nothing powers to me. Like, that's a big question for me. Like, their powers are not very impressive, right? Like, I can, if I get pissed off, my pizza falls off the table.
Or, I can tip over water on you anytime I want.
Right? And you said I could do it with my finger. They're not like maybe this is just a qualification section where they see that, okay, you do have at least some little iota of a power, and let's send you to the true torture or the true whatever, where we're going to try to really
dream box.
The dream box, yeah.
Because I think what they're going to do is try and when you line up the dots, you get some kind of like superpower, or maybe it blows you up like a candle, and then they just use that energy and then just knock your corpse, onto the cremation pile.
Right? Yeah.
Saving the world, of course. Whatever that means to them.
I mean, that's what people always tell you when they want you to do something really bad, right?
Yeah.
Oh, save the world. Or like, here's one from Jen. I want to know if Nikki is waiting for a powerful kid because he needs help escaping, or because he can tell the future to some extent. That's a good idea. Like, Jen, like maybe Nikki has seen that a powerful kid will come to help them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of wonder a little bit. Tell me if I'm crazy. I kind of wonder if maybe Nikki's been there a long time, or maybe Kalisha's been there a long time. Like, if kids cycle in and out every 2 weeks, would you really know if someone had been there a long time? Couldn't they just kind of be like, oh yeah, I just got here also? And would you really know because you go out?
Yeah, because you wouldn't really know. You wouldn't really know the timing on any of that, or if what anybody was saying was true to you. I mean, they could be all actors.
Yeah, right. I just feel like there's no
play for Luke,
Yeah, I just feel like there's no way all of these kids can be taken at face value.
Yeah,
Jamie's back, and you look good.
Okay, Jamie.
I'm back. I'm okay. I can't guarantee I'm going to stay back, but I'm okay for right now. Yeah, not that I want to go into detail. You don't need to know detail, but I'm okay for right now.
We can just go quickly through the rest.
Yeah, we were almost done. I was trying to see what was left.
Yeah, because it's like this and then the kid in the hallway, right?
So yeah, I was going to say you guys were talking about the smokestacks. I heard you talking about that.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the new kid.
No, but the one thing you also didn't talk about, did you talk about, I heard some of what you're saying, not all, about the Sloan, about Zoe Sloan.
Well, not Lindy at all.
No?
No.
That was the whole thing about the red steps, that she tells him that woman's kid was killed out at the
was
in the
killed,
water.
quote unquote,
Drowned.
because have they
Yeah,
were they
found their
killed?
body.
Did they drown?
We don't know. They found the
Were
rock
they recruited?
formation, and they were told never to go out there, but who knows, maybe they got drunk and swam. It's basically what she said, excuse me. They were seniors.
Swam right into recruitment.
Yeah, did they fall? Did they swim? Did they jump? We don't know.
They get recruited.
I thought about you though, Scarlet, when they said this about how they were called Red Rock because of the iron content. I started to think about Yellow Jackets and that whole thing, and I'm like, okay, maybe that's why it's called now. But
yeah.
I thought for sure they were going to say like her daughter ran away and disappeared and was never seen again. And, I was going to be like, oh, she was kidnapped by the Institute. And then it turns out she actually died and her body washed up.
Yeah.
Or did it?
I was going to say, though, maybe they dumped the body. They still could have killed her and dumped the body. I don't know. That was my thought anyway when I saw it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just her. There was 2 boys and 2 girls. So we have that, and then the other scene that we have is Time to Shine, whatever that says. What would the other posters say? It starts with you.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other one. But the whole coin machine, the whole vending machine. I
forgot about this scene.
Yeah, when he puts it in, he uses the coin, brings the coin back, and he's like, why don't you, instead of using the token to keep giving you pop or whatever, keep giving you snacks, get the snacks without the coin. He's like, shut up.
Yeah. Or open I thought open the machine when I saw this. Use your TK to just open it.
That too. I feel though like the whole Almond Joy Mounds thing is a joke there that I'm not quite pulling out. I mean, I know Almond Joy's got nuts, but I don't.
Yeah. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
I don't know. I just thought it was funny when they did that. But yeah. Luke or George is feeling a little bit better, but he went in the dream box. That was that part. And then we have Avery is the name of the new kid. I think that picture's here somewhere here. No, we didn't talk about this.
Oh, I really totally forgot about this part.
The whole robbery gang in the mini market.
This is definitely an important part. The kid.
No, because I thought this was extremely tropey because it's always the person that says they came from another country, some kind of war-torn nation, and they're so happy to be in America, and then they get shot.
I know, poor guy.
It's happened so much in so many shows.
Yeah, well, this part is just with him meeting him first.
Yeah.
Well,
geez, I'm sorry. I totally forgot about all this.
Yeah, no, that's okay. And then there's the part, let's see, there's guard dogs that Luke sees.
Because me and Carol have been like, and then they found a kid in the hallway. The end.
Yeah, you skipped this. Well, that's okay. You don't have a recap in front of you. But fine. Also, Luke saw the security guards walking with the dogs, the scary big dog, at the
Gus.
place.
Put on your scorecard.
So Annie's got a concertina she got from the dumpster. She talks about that. And she says that that
was cool. I wish I could find one in my dumpster.
I know, that's cool. She said her sister wouldn't have been able to tell him about the Institute and what they really do up there. And then before she can tell them that's when we hear a shot. Okay, so Doc says I was thinking crematorium too.
Mm-hmm.
And Curtis says, if we all think it, maybe it's too obvious. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think at that point I had really thought about one way or another. So yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what I thought at the time, to be honest. So yeah, this is kind of, I feel like almost just a little bit like what happened before, because somebody's there. He doesn't have a gun. Well, this time he doesn't have a gun, but like he can't, he's going to do something, and he goes in, he's been shot. And he uses diapers.
And there's 2 kids that are in there, and then they drive away in a car that he memorizes the license of.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have all the pictures, sorry, but he did use diapers and Vaseline. And I wonder if you could do that, actually put Vaseline in to seal.
Yeah, I think you can. I think it coagulates the blood or something.
Good. No, well, I know it'll stop some blood because I have a gross story. You don't hear a gross story? My dad always told me this.
Is it going to make you throw up?
No, it won't make me throw
up.
I don't know. She's my great-grandmother, great-grandmother Stoner. Anyway, I think it's his grandmother, so I want to say it's my great. But anyway, I guess like long time ago. It wasn't when she was younger. she did a lot of crafts and woodworking and all kinds of things. And she cut part of her finger off and like stuck it in a jar of Vaseline. And they took it to the and wrapped it up, like wrapped her hand up too with it. And they put it back and it was fine. So it worked.
Vaseline works wonder.
Yeah, so Vaseline can do a lot, I guess.
I just thought it was funny when he was shot. I mean, it's not funny somebody shot, but he had his hand over it, and then Ben Barnes moved it and started bleeding out. I'm like, why did you just let him just put his hand over it?
Yeah, let him keep the pressure on it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So the only part of this scene that's important is that Stackhouse somehow is turning the cameras off. Maybe, I don't know where the cameras are off. He says nobody can hear. And they're talking about Luke and he says that Hendricks says that he indicates he has low TP, which is not surprising with moderate BDNF levels. Don't know what that is. So that makes sense. And Stackhouse says that even with a moderate score with his high IQ, it could make him uniquely valuable. And that's when he says his job is to make sure he can contribute to the hum. But Stackhouse said he might have a higher value elsewhere. And he says, Hendricks says he's not in a position to scan for PCs. But he says there's other facilities that do that. And basically he's saying there might be a buyer for this kid or whatever, something to that effect that wants a PC. And so that's that conversation they have there in the hallway. And then this is after that guy gets put in the ambulance. And
doesn't Andy come and then call it in or something like that?
Yeah, Drew comes and he gives him credit for it.
Why say Andy?
I don't know.
I don't know, Twin Peaks maybe.
There's also this conversation that she has with her father. It sounds like he has Alzheimer's. She's either that or it's just she doesn't tell him the truth about stuff. I don't know.
No, she's lying about being a teacher.
Right, but I don't know why I got the opinion that he seemed like he didn't know what was going on either. But I don't know. Yeah, she's
lying to him.
A third grade teacher. They're doing A Wrinkle in Time in Phantom Tollbooth. He read it to her when she was 9. Yeah.
But maybe it's not good for a class.
Yeah, I guess not. And this is where she was inside. I thought I had a picture. She was inside the house listening. That's why I said, does he live with her? Because he makes that comment about pillow talk, and she's like inside the house listening. I don't know if they were going past her house, or he lives with her, or if they all.
He has a key to get in when there's sexy times about to happen.
Yeah, I don't know, but this is where he says that there's third-party money that might take a kid and buy the kid for potential PC and development, and he assumes he means Ellis, and he's like, that's up to you whether he has that, but don't talk to. Basically, says don't talk to her about it. And yeah, I don't know if he's supposed to be.
I thought that they live on the property. It's a compound. And they were walking past her like bungalow or her apartment or whatever, and we're not being discreet, and she overheard, or maybe they wanted her over here. But I took it that they are living on that property.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. I just, when I saw it, assumed that maybe they were living together since they were sleeping together. Nerds.
What? Just because you're living together doesn't make you sleeping together. He's a creepy.
No, but I thought maybe since he was out front of her house that he was going into the house. So I thought maybe they were living.
I thought they were just walking around talking creepily. Yeah, I didn't think he was going to her house. I didn't take that scene of them in the closet together did not take me. I didn't think that they were people that were affectionate or wanted to spend time together or living together or in any way. Like, she seemed almost kind of disgusted by what she was doing, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, totally. That's why I was saying I was surprised when I thought maybe they did, because I was confused by that scene. It was the way they shot it. But I think you're probably right. They probably both live near the Institute on the compound or whatever. That would make
maybe
sense.
I thought that because I just couldn't get my mind around the idea that she would voluntarily hang out with that guy.
In a non-kinky sexual way.
Yeah.
You got the jump rope? No, go home, please.
Enjoying it, so I don't know. Yeah. Of all places for them to talk, though, since they were close to her. Well, I definitely think they wanted her paranoid. I mean, I took it that well, maybe not Hendricks, but I think Stackhouse was doing it to piss her off. because they seem to definitely not like each other. So.
Well, and her value is unclear to me because she seems to be an administrator who just runs the place.
Yeah. She's in charge of a lot of things, but we don't know how high up. We know that she has a boss. That's the main thing we know. There, Karen muted herself. I'm not sure what happened.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, as far as far as I can tell, she's an administrator type person. She's not a doctor. She's not a scientist. And her value to this project, like, couldn't she be replaced? Like, couldn't you get another administrator? Like, I'm not, except that you're a top secret child abuser, so you can't just bring anybody in. But her value seems to be not as high as the scientists, maybe.
That's fair. She's higher up than them, I think, but you're right. They may be able to replace her.
She's like the Cobell.
Yeah. Jen just said twist if she created that place like Cobell.
Oh,
I don't know.
Jinx. I didn't even see this comment.
Yeah, I don't know, but like I said, my thought was that okay, she's not the boss, so there's somebody who's a bigger bad above her, who happens to be from Lost. Yeah. I remember thinking, I hope we actually see him, because right now we've just heard his voice and kind of seen him in pictures. Like, want him to be on the show. So yeah. Then the other thing is about the ambulance and them taking that guy in the ambulance. And then the last part, which if I had not run out of time, I would have gotten, is that little kid Avery coming in, and she's Kalisha's able to read his mind a little bit. Says he's allergic to Reese's, but beyond that, she says that he is the strongest TP she's ever. Is it TK or TP? I think TP.
TP.
The strongest one she's ever felt, and so they're happy because that's what they were waiting for. Was they said earlier in the episode that they need somebody that's strong enough to read the boss's minds or whatever, or scramble their brains or something. So yeah. So I know we went through the whole thing really slow and then we like sped up at the end. Sorry guys.
Because all that mentioning about the jump rope and
okay.
Robert Joy and all that has made not only you throw up, but Karen mute herself accidentally.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all too much for all of us.
That scene was so bizarre. It really was. It was creepy. It just doesn't compute it seemed so out of character. I mean, we don't know them, but yet it seemed out of character. Either way, clearly she was not enjoying it. So why she was having sex with him, I don't know.
Because she can only get off when she's humiliated and not joining it.
Maybe.
And a jump rope's involved somehow.
Jump rope's involved. Critter says, I'm wondering if all
maybe they double dutch during. I mean, they stand up and they do it, but they double dutch.
Literally jump rope. Yeah, maybe it's literal jump rope. Critter says, I'm wondering if all facilities are for TKTP or if another place is where the fire starter is, like each facility specializes in different abilities.
Yeah, I thought that too. I didn't know there was connection.
And that's kind of where I'm saying, like, I wonder if it's possible. Like, we know there's one book. The book clearly has an end. I mean, I don't know if it has a good end or bad end, or we don't know if it ends all the way.
Yeah.
But, like, it makes me think that it's possible, if it is connected to the worlds, that there could be, like, more ideas maybe that Stephen King has so that the story could continue more than one season. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I think it says limited series, but that pretty much means nothing anymore. So,
yeah.
Hard to
tell. I mean, I think this book maybe can't go more than one season, but I think, you know, in light of this comment, if this is sort of related to the Firestarter universe and you have other facilities, I mean, in Firestarter, Charlie is so much more. She's a very powerful child, totally different than these kids who are kind of lame. No, let's face it, their powers are weak. Their powers are very weak, these kids.
Well, they're
Look,
still
I
in
can
front
move
half.
water a little bit.
They're still in front
Watch me
half.
burn down this building.
But in Firestarter, Charlie is very, very powerful.
Yeah.
And her father is also, like, her powers are genetic, right? And come from her father, who also, you know, and they're being drugged and all this stuff. And so if that's a good comment. Like, if you thought these were related, Critter, there would be another place where Firestarter is being held, because like they needed like George C. Scott to be on her.
Yeah, that would be cool. Hi, Amy. Welcome. Let's see. You know, I didn't think you don't have a picture up. You're a disembodied voice, Karen. Sorry, I just realized that. I don't. I'd have to edit the whole thing. Nikki takes Avery, so Nikki doesn't hear Kalisha. I wonder if he already knows that Avery is powerful, if he can sense it. Nikki,
We don't really know what Nikki's power is, right?
Wait, Nikki takes Avery, so Nikki doesn't hear Kalisha. Oh, doesn't hear what she's saying. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, I don't know that it matters, because I think the point is by the end of the time they're at the front of the house, they all have both powers, right? I mean, that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or that third power if TP plus TK equals BC.
If it does, yeah. I want to say I think he's TP, but I honestly don't know. I honestly don't even remember. The race car bed was adorable, yeah. Yeah, it was like the beds in Severance. You're right. Critter says multiple of his books have The Shining in it, so that's possible. About them being in different places. I agree. I think it would be interesting if there are other places, and I think it would be a way to expand the universe and could be cool to have, you know.
Yeah, because it's a TV show, it can just kind of keep going.
And that's what I'm saying. If Stephen King's working on it, I mean, maybe he has a plan for it. I don't know. It could be limited. It's just honestly hard to really know what they're doing.
Or it could be like George R.R. Martin. He could just start up a book and then have it like go with the series. Like, chuck out another Institute book.
I mean, I think the book was optioned almost as soon as it came out, and so they've been like working on this for a while. Whoever like held the option at first, you know, so many of Stephen King's work have been optioned to so many different, because there's like 1,000 of them, right? So they're not 1,000, but they're optioned to so many different people for so many different. I you know, it would be. We'll see how it goes for 8 episodes. Maybe we'll love it to go for more. I do think. You know, Jamie, we have watched a couple of extended Stephen King things that maybe should not have
been extended.
Yeah, no, right? they don't always do well, and a lot of times they mess up his books too, and it's not even the story.
And he's often not a part of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know how much of a part of it is. He's listed as executive producer, but that could be a name. I think he's involved, but I mean. He posts about it, so he must like it. He's not like, because I know some things he's like wanted to take his name off of, or whatever you hear, like that kind of thing.
Like Under the Dome, the one I was talking about.
Like
I was just gonna say like Kubrick Shining.
Yeah. Stephen King struggles with endings in his books. Yeah, sometimes I just kind of worry too, because Stephen King tends to give his books not happy endings either. Like, I don't want it to. If there's only one season, I don't want it to.
Then they were all dead.
Yeah, I don't want a bad ending. Like, if you're going to end the season series, at least like give it a decent ending. Now, sometimes bad endings are.
Yeah, I think Then They Were All Dead can really be a good ending for the right story, right?
I like a happy ending, but an unhappy ending that's done well is okay. It just depends. Like, I hate like non-endings. That's what's awful. Like, I know, like, one of my
kind of like if they save the world from these like people in the Institute, then they win, even if the last kid dies at the end. For sacrificing himself.
Yeah.
Like Firestarter, where like she has to go nuclear, but her father dies.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know Fallen's one of my favorite movies. I love that movie. And like, it has a bad ending per se, but it's like a good bad ending. And bad endings can be good. I just don't want it to have, like I said, like a not ending. That's worse. Jen says Stephen King gave the show a 10 out of 10.
All right.
Yeah. Look, I do think it started out a little slow compared to the rest of the season. I do think it gets a little better, but I like it.
Jamie, have you seen the whole thing?
Yes.
Okay, you need to just,
No, but I know. I'm just saying. I do think it was a little slow start. I enjoyed it, and overall I did enjoy the series.
I've tuned out.
That is all I'm going to say. They're talking about other books, so yeah, I don't know. But yeah, well, hopefully, if Stephen King liked it, that means that you guys will like it, I guess, too. I'll have to wait and see. But
Jamie, did you use your powers to just like stop my internet right then for a minute when I said that?
Nice.
No. Yes,
he's been working on those.
Yeah, I have TK powers. I wish. And now I lost track of what I was going to say. There's a TV show called Fallen about kids with powers, but they include time travel. That I have not heard of. Interesting. The thing I was talking about was not that. It's a Denzel Washington movie. It was definitely not that. Fallen. I don't know. I'm not sure what that is. Misfits too. Yeah, Misfits. There's a lot of shows about kids with powers and stuff.
Misfits of songs.
Yeah, the show's great. I assume Amy means this show likes the music. This show does have pretty good music. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, are you intrigued? Are you kind of intrigued? Were you bored? I mean, I know you didn't like it as much as I did, but I mean, where kind of are you at, I guess, right now?
I'll watch the rest of it. I mean, it's not the best thing I've ever watched, but it's not the worst.
Yeah.
It's about a C right now. Could go to a B. Who knows?
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. What do you think, Karen?
I think I wasn't like, holy cow, I have to watch this show, like I felt with certain with the premiere of Lost or the premiere of From or certain shows where you're like, holy cow, I'm in. I think even from the first one, it's good enough that I will watch another one and see how I like it. I do feel like the characters, the kids, are a little thin. They're a little stereotypical. Like in the Discord, I was like, oh, they're the Breakfast Club, and I could actually like assign like the 5 characters, and there's not a lot of personality there with these kids, and there's not time for that. 8 episodes doesn't really give. That's how TV goes nowadays, right? And it's really hard for them to. And for me, like, good characters is the most important hook.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's good enough that I want to watch more. I'm not sure that at the end of 8 I'll be like, that was awesome, but look, it's better than probably 80% of what's on TV, right? And so I am compelled. I do want to watch more. It's better than some other stuff that I've been watching, right?
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, Critter says I think it sets it up well. I would agree with that, and I think I'm glad that we got 2 episodes. I think that at least helped. Did we necessarily need them? Maybe not, but I think it helped to do the setup. I think it kind of. I don't want to say necessarily needed it, but I definitely think it helped. I know some shows you don't need it, but yeah, it gets you more of the world. It gets you a bit in there. But yeah, I mean, it's not a super long series, so it's only 8 episodes, and it's self-contained.
Well, it's just based on this one book, right? And
so I mean,
it's the end.
Yeah, but with the way things are, you never know anymore if the end will stay the end. Is kind of my point.
I was gonna say if it deviates from the book.
Jen says, I agree with Karen that the powers aren't that exciting yet, and they're together for such a short time, so an escape plan is impulsive. But I'm in it to the end, and it's been up 2 episodes of setup for 6 more. Yeah, they're not super strong yet. But I think, like I said, they're still in front half. So I'm assuming that
the front half. Haha, you made a reference.
Jimmy.
I think as they are or as they get more stuff, more powers, we'll probably get more. I mean, shows like Lost with 23 episodes. Yes.
I mean, I assume their powers are going to get stronger. Like, how can you have a dramatic ending with a kid who's like, let me throw a cup of water at you, right?
Take this. But it's like acid and it's Tony's face.
Do you remember that sci-fi show, whatever it was called, 3 Inches or 6 Inches or something, that was on Sci-Fi Channel?
No, was that a porno, Jamie? 6 inches?
You said it. I didn't.
No, it was about superpowers, but they were like really, really like dippy superpowers. Like they could move things, but only like an inch or something like that. I don't know how many inches.
Oh, yeah.
Inches. And it just made me think of that when we were saying that. It was kind of the same type of thing. Like they could do something, but very little.
There was a
Powers
sketch of Saturday Night Live like that where there was a bunch of superheroes that had stupid powers, like Weather Girl. She was a meteorologist and then she became a superhero, but she could raise the degrees of the temperature by 10 degrees either way.
Oh, so
there
it's
was like stapler guy whose hands were staples.
His hands are staples.
I gotta look that up.
That's funny.
Yeah, it has Julia Louis-Dreyfus in it. It's from like the 80s.
I think though the weather thing could be something useful though. Like you're having a hot flash, you make it cool. You're cold, you can make yourself warm, right? That's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I mean, I kind of think part of the point of the evil college orientation they're going to is that they want to they're trying to make their powers manifest. And we've seen so many shows where the government uses pain and torture to make people's powers manifest, right? And isn't that the point? Like they want these kids to like, I assume they're trying to weaponize them into like super soldiers or read Vladimir Putin's mind or whatever, right? Like, like they don't want to just throw water at people.
Right.
And so I think
throw acid at people maybe instead of water.
I was kind of wondering if some of the harshness of this place is to try to make their powers manifest better, and that never goes well in these kind of stories. I mean, I've seen it before. I've seen it in Stephen King before, right? It's not like the most original. It could still be a good show. But I assume that these kids will get more powers because why else? Can we really have a show of lame-o powers? That's not a comedy. Yes, we could, but it would be a comedy, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I like Moist Man from Dr. Horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Moist Man, yeah.
I love Dr. Horrible. I need to watch Dr. Horrible. It has been way too many years.
See, that's the same thing the Saturday Night Live skit too. It's like, is it getting a little warmer in here? And you see like Weather Girl just adjusting her helmet and trying really hard and concentrating. And it's gone up like 5 degrees in the room.
That's funny. Yeah, that could be stories.
So that's the part I'm waiting for. I'm also, I gotta tell you guys, I'm highly invested in Tony being killed.
Yes. And I hated it from the beginning, and it's like it's so
you're gonna have a Tony redemption arc.
Yeah, right? No. Oh my god.
Then he dies.
I say we did.
Yes.
I don't think Tony's really redeemable.
Maybe that's why asshole Tony flexes on the kids to see if they will unleash on them. I wonder if Tony has a power. Oh, do you think Tony has a power?
That would be interesting.
I don't know. I think Tony might have the lamest power ever. Like he can only throw 1 ounce of water at you, and he's really jealous of the kids. Like he does seem like a guy that is really insecure and jealous. And maybe he had like a sibling who had a power. You know how like in Harry Potter, like Harry's mom Lily, her sister is she's really kind of vicious because she was so jealous of the power. Like maybe Tony's a person like that is like so angry that he has no power that he like abuses the kids. Right?
I just think that there would be ways to get the kids to do what they wanted a lot easier than the way they're treating them, you know. But you're right. It might be that they need that harshness to make it manifest. I don't know. But I know
it's Stephen King. It's Stephen King.
Plus it's Stephen King. But I still wondered like from the beginning, you know. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe he has the strength to smack the shit out of Luke on his latest mode.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe he didn't try to hurt him. Kind of doubt it. Excuse me, but maybe.
I look forward to his eventual death.
Yeah. I think he's one of those characters that's like you assume that probably something bad's gonna happen.
Oh yeah. This guy, no redemption arc for this guy, right?
Yeah, right. No redemption. Definitely not. That is funny though about Jim because we all wanted Jim to die and then we all felt bad for Jim. Poor Jim. Should have been digging that there hole, Jim.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Oh, all right. What's this?
All right.
He can instantly piss you off. Yeah. He pisses me off.
It's
That's a
power.
good
So
power.
many people. It's a very common power.
It is a common power. It is a common power. All righty. Well, we have gone over 3 hours. Unless you guys have more to add. I know we still got to think of more things to talk about to review it tomorrow, as it is.
No, I'm out. Thanks for inviting me in here at the end, you guys. I appreciate coming on and chatting with you.
Thanks for taking over for a bit so I could run out. I appreciate that.
Oh, it's always great
Yeah,
talking.
thanks for coming. I'm glad you listened to our show tonight, and I'm excited to hear more what you have to say tomorrow too. So.
Okay. Oh yeah, we have another show tomorrow. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna sign off. Oh, and here comes the ambulance. See, so it's my time.
Here comes your ambulance.
You hear the ambulance? You guys hear the ambulance?
Yes, we always hear the ambulance.
They're coming for you, Karen. The Institute's coming for you. Run.
Shut up, Karen. The Institute is coming for you. Shut up. All right, I gotta go. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
And she was never heard from again.
Oh no, never heard from again. Yeah. Well, I think. Do you have anything else to add, Scarlet? I don't want to cut you off.
No, I'm good. I'm just hoping you're feeling better. That's all.
Thank you. And thanks, Jen. I see that. Yeah, I would probably try to go a little bit longer, but I am not feeling great. So I would prefer
That's fine. I think we did good.
Yeah, I think we got through it all, even though we rushed through the end a little bit. But everybody, please join us again tomorrow at 10, because we will be doing, Karen and I and AJ will be doing the review of it, which will be a lot less of the recap and more of our opinions. So we're doing it that way. But yeah, that's tomorrow at 10, and not another watch party though. We'll have the next watch party on Saturday night. But thanks. I'm glad to have the Karen ride in the ambulance. We don't want Karen to end up in Fromville. Thanks, Critter. But yeah, I think that's about it for me tonight. We went 3 hours. I think we did good, but we got through all 2 episodes. So, and then, so that's tomorrow at 10. And then at midnight, we have the final episode of Midnight Murderbot, Scarlet and I. And then, of course, Tuesday is our Fandom Access show at 10. And then Scarlet and I at 1. I think we're going to pick up
1
Nautilus.
a.m.?
Yeah, that's actually the next day, I guess, technically. I don't know why. I'm like, why am I doing this now? We're going to pick up Nautilus. And yeah, so there's a lot going on this week. And then.
So everybody at least watch the Nautilus thing when we're done. If you can't get here at 1 a.m. EST, let's watch it. It's a great show. It's good.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do a watch party for that too. I just don't have enough hours in the day. But you can check out Discord for our schedule. I might not have updated it. If I didn't, I'll check it and I'll update it so we have them all in there. Yeah, so please do that. And then the 21st on Monday, that isn't tomorrow, it's a week from tomorrow. Luke Boyce, who is the showrunner of Revival, is going to be joining our Revival show with me and Lori. So check that out as well. And yeah, long week. Lots of stuff going on. That's next week, though, but lots of stuff. But have a good night, everybody. And thank you for joining us and for staying for the whole thing. Appreciate it. And I hope you all have a good night. And we will see you tomorrow. Well, tonight. I guess technically it's still today.
Work on your powers, everybody.
Yes, work on your powers. Good night.
Bye.